We're back. It's time for the 2024 Urban NerdCon. Join us in Atlanta, Georgia, April 26th through the 28th at the Cortland Grand Hotel. Special guests include Underworld creator Kevin Grievous, Gary Gray from Fairly Odd Parents, from Nickelodeon, Giovanni Samuels, the Science Machine Michael Green, the Sci-Fi Sisters, and from Spaceballs and Star Trek Voyager, Tim Russ.
Hi, I'm Tim Russ. Join me April 26th through the 28th at the Cortland Grand Hotel in Atlanta, Georgia for the Urban NerdCon. Our heroes, our villains, our stories, everyone con. I'll see you there. Live long and prosper.
Visit theurbannerdcon.net to get your buy one, get one free badges before the price increases. Remember, our heroes, our villains, our stories, everyone's con. See you there.
Hello, hello, hello. Good evening. Welcome to another live edition of the O&G StrikeZone on a beautiful Wednesday evening where the Rattlers have done it again. My name's Brian Fulford. That's Kelvin Rozier. And pleasure to have you back on the show is our friend Marcus Green. Marcus, welcome back, Marcus. How you doing?
Sex and chocolate. Sex and chocolate. Welcome back, Marcus. We're so glad you could join us.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Everything's going good. We got, I don't know, I guess we getting like Thanos. We getting, all the Infinity Stones for all these championships and everything. So, we got 6 across 6 sports since we joined the SWAC. So.
Well, you mean to tell me we're not only a football school, that we win in multiple sports?
Yes.
Do the people on in Ritz, do they understand that? Do those people on Lynch Street, do they understand that we are a home of champions? If they don't, they know now.
Yeah.
Because we got some champions coming up.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. It's a great day to celebrate champions. It was a great weekend, a busy weekend for just all of it. Seemed like every FAMU athletic sport that could have been participating right now was busy, and it's capped off with our track program, specifically our women's track program, are the 2023 SWAC indoor track champions as the ladies once again get it done in the track and field cross country world. They were the cross country champions, and then they came in with the indoor track and field championship. And there might be, look, the trifecta is in play for the outdoor season. Let's just say that the same cast of characters, all they do is go from indoor to the outdoor. So, and as we always like to do, fresh off of winning a championship, we like to talk to champions, right? We like to talk to champions. So coming up at the bottom of the hour, the SWAC, make sure I say this right, the SWAC Women's Indoor Coach of the Year, Track and Field Coach of the Year. That's our Director of Track and Field and Cross Country as Coach G, Coach Garfield Ellenwood II. He's going to come on again, we all see this is what I like. When we start getting these repeat performances, that means appearances, that means you're doing something right. You're doing something right. So
and
we
and it also means you can hold your chest out a little bit. You can say a little more because you got rings on your finger. So we have to listen and support. And we're gonna make sure we push that fundraiser and that QR code too.
yeah, Coach G, a very humble man, but we give him full license to brag, and we got some
Because
of
we
the
brag
stars
different.
of the show, exactly, because we brag different, and some of the stars of the show are supposedly going to be joining us in the during the broadcast or as well. Um, I believe we will have with us, we will have several young ladies who won some first place medals and or performed really well. Of course, SWAC record holder Brianna Brown Marshall of the high jump, who, by the way, first off, let's just start here. And good evening. Let me hold on. Let me pause before we get going here. So I say good evening to everybody, all you Rattlers checking in, coming in the chat room. We'll do roll call here in a second. Make sure to hit the thumbs up and the like button wherever you're watching us. If you're watching us on Twitter, when you get a chance to get to a YouTube or Facebook feed, which of course you can find not only at O&G StrikeZone, but if you're on YouTube, where probably the heaviest where the heaviest chat traffic will be. That's at MyJBN Online. Of course, the Jericho Broadcast Networks is the home of the Black College Sports Network. We are part of the Black College Sports Network. So if you're on that YouTube feed, that's where a large portion of the chatters are. So hello to everybody in the chat room. Also, Facebook as well, my JBN1, or excuse me, my BCSN1. That's the Black College Sports Network Facebook page, or the O&G Strike Zone Facebook page as well. Shout out to those watching on Instagram at O&G Strike Zone as well. Okay. The broadcast. Let's talk about the broadcast, because I mean there was a lot of things to watch, but there was nothing more exciting than to watch the Sunday broadcast on the SWAC digital network of the final day of the track and field championships. Shout out to SWAC. Shout out to friend of the Black College Sports Network, Mo Carter, and Coach, I believe it's TJ Williams was the coach. I was just sitting there watching the feed, Coach Williams. They did a great job with the coverage, but just outstanding coverage. And of course, seeing the Rattlers. I mean, watching young ladies like Brianna Brown Marshall kind of have the spotlight to herself as she was setting a record of jumping in the high jump. And then, so we're going to hopefully have her on. We'll also have Nia Blocker on, who set a SWAC record as well. Kimyon McLeod, who we call her the fastest woman in the SWAC. We might need. Usually they give that designation to the shortest distance runner, right? Nia Coleman will also be joining us. Rory Lowe, who those two young ladies scored at 4 events. So I'm not quite sure how we'll have all of them with Coach G, but we're anticipating all of them being on the show. So looking forward to that. And we had some other stuff going on over the weekend as well, didn't we, fellas?
Oh, did we? Yes, we did. Baseball got started.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Baseball got off to a great start.
Tennis swept.
Tennis gets a sweep. I thought baseball was close to getting a sweep, but they almost got a sweep.
Yeah,
They should have got a sweep. And I got to talk with Coach yesterday after the game against Troy, and I'll be glad to share a little story about that particular game too.
All right. So yeah, they came very close to sweeping. Boy, basketball had a tough time in the SIP, but I don't know if it was the water or what was going on out there, but it was kind of tough out there. But thankfully, they're coming home. Our women's team is still in the top 8, so we didn't lose any ground. I mean, I think we lost maybe one spot. We went into
Okay.
Mississippi ranked 5th in the standings. I think we dropped to 6th. So not bad given everything that happened. So we may get to that. Softball's going through a tough stretch, but man, they're playing a hellish schedule right
Yeah,
now.
gauntlet.
Oh, I mean these 2 weeks are so they've got some games coming up this weekend.
We'll get a gauge. We should be able to gauge them a lot better because we'll be back with HBCU competition this weekend. So we'll kind of see what we look like there.
Yeah, so if you want a real litmus test, if that was your preseason, ooh, Jesus, that was a tough preseason, no doubt.
It was.
And so yeah, so now they get a chance to go into actual play. Any other sports? I know I just saw. Well, actually, maybe from not the
Golf.
weekend. Yeah, golf just it wasn't quite the weekend. What they did a Monday, Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Yeah, so golf just had a Monday, Tuesday. So I'm telling you, man, whew, busy week. I think the only sport who wasn't active was bowling.
And they'll be active this week.
Right,
I think.
right. They'll be active this week. Yep, yes, indeed. Okay. Any other points? Anything you want to quickly hit on, guys, before we get going here? What's going on? Anything on your mind? Any other before we get to the roll call?
I continue to run into so many of our lovely and wonderful fans of the show as I'm out and about at baseball this weekend. I took a picture. I haven't shared with y'all guys yet, but I took a picture with one of the fans, and I got to give him a shout out. But I give him a shout out when we get the end of these shout outs because I got to make sure I get his name right. And then also I got to talk to some folks that I've known for a while who also watch the show and listen to the show, and it's really growing. People are very encouraging, and it's much appreciated. We appreciate y'all watching, and looking forward to letting our athletes. I love talking to the coach. I love to talk with y'all and hear us talk, but I love the most when we can get our players and our student athletes a chance to shine and put some faces with names and so forth. So I'm really looking forward to the segment with Coach Ellenwood.
And while we're on track, it looks like our newest signee, I don't know, county, regional, and 4A state champs. I guess it's for the indoor season. So Ariana Ladson just got another medal for the indoor season for her team.
Really?
Mhm.
Okay. All right.
So track is looking good.
All right. Good stuff. Okay. Marcus, you hit me with that poll question. Now I'm sitting here trying to navigate into that space where I can put that poll question up, but stream is acting kind of funky on me, so I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get that going. Yes.
Is that the QR code for supporting our championship track program?
No, that's our QR code. So
Okay.
this is what you may be. I was trying to adjust a couple things here.
Okay.
Let me get that for you. I'll let you talk about that here in a second while I pull that up here. There you go. I think that's what you're talking about, right?
Absolutely. So
Go ahead,
we've got
talk on that.
Well, we have a championship program, right? The women won the cross country, and now they've come back and won the indoor, and so they're going to get rings and everything, and we want to make sure we say we brag different, and we want to brag different with our dollars and so forth. So we need to make sure that QR code will take you to the site for track where you can give to men's, women's, or both. and in any amount you choose. So it goes to a foundation account. So we want to make sure that we do more than just brag, that we invest in our championship program so we can maintain this level and then even go to a higher level. So I thought it was really important. I appreciate uh, Coach getting this to us, and we have been promising. We've done baseball and softball as well as tennis, and so we want to make sure we give a little love to the track program also.
Gotcha. Um, yeah, so we'll bring that up a little bit more. I'm going to leave that up there for a few minutes to give everybody a chance to scan that QR code if you can. You guys have done a great job thus far in promoting and sharing your thoughts. And we got to keep that. We got to keep that going. We got to keep going. We got to keep donating. Keep donating. All right. I'll come back to that a little bit later here in the show. Let's kind of go through roll call here. We're coming up here again at the bottom of the hour. We're going to bring in Coach G, Coach Ellenwood. So in these moments that we have now, I figure we'll just kind of run through the roll call, see how everybody is doing. First one in. All right, here we go. Let's see. Here we go. Right here. There you go, Melissa Wilson coming in. Good to see you, Melissa. Coming in early. Good to see you. B Starks. Appreciate you coming in. Meredith, also early coming in. Good to see you, Meredith. Montre Bennett. Championship Rattlers. How many? Marcus, you did kind of answer that question, but recap for how many championships is that? There's a couple different things I've heard. I've heard this.
Well, this year, I think in the last calendar year, what is it, 4 or 5? I mean,
now when you say what's the calendar year, are we talking? Is that the school?
I'm sorry, the season. I'm sorry, the season, because we run volleyball in 2021 and 2022, and made the finals this year for the SWAC. So that's one. If you count since we've been in the SWAC. So
let's
volleyball,
football, yeah.
Volleyball, football, baseball. So I think we have 4 on the women's side. We have baseball and football on the men's side, and then we have volleyball, tennis, cross country, and indoor track.
Right. Now I think what is in play though, especially on the women's side. Now, if you think of just this academic year, right? So this is academic year. We got volleyball that went to the championship, cross country, which won. So that's a first place finish and a second place finish. I don't think that soccer. We don't participate in soccer, women's soccer. So that's a non-factor for us. Right, winter season is still going on, but the only sports in winter is women's basketball. Hey, who knows? We're trying to get to the final 8. Right, and then going into the spring is where you have a lot of the sports, and we've already won an indoor title. So where I'm going with all this is to say the SWAC women's title, which I don't have the name of the actual award or the trophy name, is in play. Because you got to think, we got our championship tennis program, which is the defending champs. Our outdoor track season should hopefully be just as successful, right?
Yeah.
I'm not going to discount softball. It's too early to say what softball is going to look like. But getting to the final 8, getting to the playoffs or the tournament matters, adds points. What other women's sports are there?
Bowling.
Too early to tell. They last year they finished third. They finished third last year. I know it's a new players, new coach, so that's still to be determined there. But we're going to be in the hunt for the SWAC women's trophy, and I'm not going to discount the men because baseball, the defending champs. no telling what our outdoor track season is going to look like. I think we're limited in the fact of the number of events or number of teams that we have. That kind of hurts us, but we'll, just something to think about. Just I thought I'd throw that out there. Demetra Alford, good to see you, Demetra. Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining us tonight. Ashton Harris checking in. Good to see you, Ashton. Thanks for checking in with us. Kenya, always good to see you, Kenya. Marcus Leach, good evening. Another Marcus coming in. We love the name Marcus. We love Marcuses. All Marcuses are welcome.
and let me just say happy birthday to another Marcus who's not going to post, but he had a birthday, so I want to say happy birthday to the other Marcus.
Oh, Marcus! Happy birthday, Marcus! Somehow I missed that on my Facebook notifications, even though Facebook tried to tell me my birthday was the other day, so I don't know what was going on. I'm sorry. When you start getting all kinds of notifications like, "Hey, happy birthday," I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "It's not my birthday." My birthday's in May, by the way. Anyway, hey, Barry 305, good to see you. Thanks for coming in. Ashley Joyner, thanks for joining. Hello to you. Reggie Delane, good to see you, Reggie. Bull checking in. Bull, you ready for baseball? Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. There's Marcus. Marcus came in.
That is another Marcus.
Oh, it's a whole nother. See, we love
There's
Marcus.
4 of us. Oh, wow. All right.
We love Marcus. We love Marcus. Let's see. The August Jamal Show. Well, welcome. Good to see you. Thanks for checking in. Tamara T. Good to see you, Tamara. Chuck Hunt checking in all the way from Monroe, Louisiana. And I don't know if that's a good Louisiana accent or not. It just felt right.
No.
But
No.
Not good. Okay. Anyway.
No.
All right. Yeah. Good evening, Tony. How you doing, Tony? Good to see you. Checking in. Let's see. Who else? Anybody else that I missed? Let's see. Sam Gilbert checking in. Good evening, champ. Good to see you. Jimmy Mack checking in. Good to see you, Jimmy. You here in Orlando or Indy? Which one? I don't know what my city is.
Orlando.
Okay. I was gonna say, you're in Indy. All-Star Weekend was in Indy. I should have been there. I wasn't, sadly. Anyway. Ashley C. Good to see you, Ashley. Thanks for checking in. Lil Baby 245 checking in. Lil Baby, good to see you. EA, stir the pot up. Let's see what you do today, EA. Good to see you. Always glad to have you in there. Let me see. Who else? Chris Dukes coming in. Good to see you. Edwin Moore. Trying to make sure I don't replicate here. Let's see.
Hello.
Alice McCullough. Hello from Riviera Beach, checking in. Good to see you. Thanks for coming in. Yes, congratulations to our track team as well. Dr. Cavill checking in, the dean of HBCU sports.
That's right, Doctor.
Coming in.
That's right. Yeah, we got our feet on people's furniture.
Yeah, thank you, Hitman. The Commission Cup is what we are after. That's what we are. The Commissioner's Cup. The Commissioner's Cup. Yes, that's what we are after. That's what we're going. I don't know. I'm calling it. I'm speaking it into existence. Speaking it into existence. Keith, Things Up podcast coming in. Good to see you, Keith. Thanks for checking in. Glad to have you. All right. Any other news and notes, gentlemen? Anything else? Let me. By the way, I'm curious. Deadline is quickly approaching. Have y'all ordered y'all championship fan ring yet?
No,
Marcus.
I have not.
I have not.
Mm-mm. What's going on? You guys in the chat room, let me know. You got 8 days. Have you guys ordered your championship fan ring yet? I mean, I'm just kind of doing a informal poll. What's the hesitation? Just curious.
You got yours?
No. I don't have
What
Boomerang. Zing.
what are we talking about then? What are we talking about, man?
I'm on a teacher's salary. Come on now. I'm a coach in the state of Florida, which means I don't make anything for starters. And then I'm a teacher in the state of Florida. So I'm times two not making what I'm valued or what I should be making. So hell, that's my excuse. What's yours? Yeah. I'm just saying. Let's see. What else? Nobody else. All right.
Looks nice,
Nobody
though.
else. It does look nice.
It's very clean, very clean. I like it. Just like when we showed our white helmets before they were debuted. I love it. Very clean look. Looks nice. It pops.
Yeah. Yeah. Melissa says not a keepsake that she wants. Hitman says he'd rather. I think a lot of people might just rather donate for the players, but yeah, to each his own. I do recall Coach saying that. Well, he didn't say it on our interview last week, and shout out to any and everybody who got a chance to watch our interview with Coach Colsey last week. We appreciate it. Great interview, great conversation with Coach. But I think he said I heard somewhere else he say that the timeline is looking like the spring game to have the players championship rings available. So I don't know. It's one of those things. They will happen though. Look, I've seen schools issue them in the summer. So let's not
Or a year later.
a year later. Thank you.
The
So
fall, first game.
yeah,
Fall.
exactly. So don't fall into the trap of people who maybe are who get into talking about the players not getting their rings and things of that nature. It will happen. Just win. I don't know. Again, I told you the fan ring thing is a fundraiser in my opinion. So if you do the math, if you can get a quarter of the season ticket holders to buy, it'll pay for itself, in my opinion. But we'll see.
We never did get Marcus input on recruiting because he's been in and out so much.
Yeah,
we did talk a little bit. I think
at some point, yeah, you got a little bit in, but I know that there's some more offers on the table and with multiple sports. So, when we have some time, I would love to hear Marcus' input.
Yeah, we'll get into that probably in the second hour. We'll get into a little football conversation of some different things. Also, we've got a special correspondent that's out at the HBCU Legacy Bowl. Miss Angela Lawani. She is a graduating student from Benedict College, and she has been covering not only just the HBCU Legacy Bowl, but a few other of the what do you call them? The postseason bowls, where a lot of the scouting is happening over this month of January and early February. She's been pretty much at all of them: the Senior Bowl, the Shriners Bowl. She's been in a few of them, and so she's there in New Orleans, and so she's gonna come on later in hour 2 and kind of give us a lay of the land. Of course, we all know and we've seen how well our guys did. Eric Smith, the fastest 40 time at the combine. Kamari Young, the fastest tight end. Marcus Riley, the fastest wide receiver. We've seen Musa Jeremy be featured right there alongside Davius Richard. Cam Colvin has even impressed. So we'll talk about all of those guys a little bit later in the show. But let's do this. Let's take our first break of the show. Coming back on the other side of the break, hopefully we'll have Coach G joining us so we can start talking to these track and field champions, winners of the 2023 SWAC Indoor Women's Track and Field Championship. So we will talk to Coach and the champions coming up on the other side. So hang tight. We'll be back. You're watching the O&G Strike Zone right here on the Black College Sports Network.
If you think all pads are exactly the same, think again. This is Always Ultra Thins reinvented with the Always Triple Protection System. This pad wicks gushes 90% faster, absorbs even more so you can feel dry, and locks odors in. Rethink your pad for up to 100% leak-free and odor-free comfort with the totally reinvented Always Ultra Thins. This is always like never before.
The Cuvée Group is a Florida-based marketing and training consulting firm. We help businesses communicate to their target audience and engage them in conversation. We also help to expand their audiences, which will ultimately result in growth for those organizations. In addition to being a certified constant contact specialist, my colleagues and I are also certified in John Maxwell Leadership Principles. We use these proven principles to conduct workshops, training, and private coaching sessions for individuals and companies looking to take things to the next level. Contact us to schedule a free consultation. Issues today, don't delay, call Cuvée.
As technology continues to bring changes to the world of education, it's time we also reimagine teacher professional development. Gone are the days of one-size-fits-all learning that can only be accessed at a specific time and place. The Stride PD Center is an on-demand library of mobile-friendly courses that allow educators to learn anytime and anywhere. Our dynamic courses provide bite-sized learning and help educators advance their knowledge while also gaining professional development hours. The best professional development plans are those that include a level of flexibility and choice for educators. Whether you're a teacher, school, or district, visit us today to take charge of your learning.
All right, welcome back to the O&G Strike Zone. Bryan, Kelvin, Marcus, coming up here. I know we're going to have Coach G coming up here, but I see in our waiting room we got a couple of our record-breaking track athletes. So what we may do is we may just go ahead and bring them in and
Yeah, coach is trying to get on. He's having a little technical difficulty with his iPhone, so hopefully he'll pop in a minute. Gotcha.
Well, before we bring them on, of course, champions of the SWAC, this indoor title in which the Rattlers brought home 15 medals in total and the women's championship title. In the women's standings, 9 points separated the number 1 and 2 teams as FAMU recorded 122 points to defeat the reigning SWAC champions, Alabama State. I felt like we called that. I felt like we had a feeling that might happen. But anyway, so congratulations to the women. The men finished with 52 total points to place 6th overall in the 11-team field. There were several gold medal performances, and I got a couple. Let's see who do we have here in the chat with us. I know we've got. So let me just finish reading this here before I introduce and bring them on. Gold medal winners included Nia Blocker and Brianna Brown Marshall, respectively, who set SWAC championship records. Nia in the 200-meter dash, Brianna in the high jump. They were also personal records. Also, the team of Tatiana Martinez, Rory Lowe, Lacey Dabosky, and Alicia Douglas delivered the fastest 4x400 relay time of the season at 3:44.98. I think a good portion of that group even won like the distance meter I want to say this right. The distance relay on Saturday, that same group. And I think a lot of those young ladies won the championship in cross country. So you kind of knew we were going to win that anyway. Douglas also finished second in the 800. Martinez third in the 400. We also had let's see, Tiana Brown finished first in the 600. Nia Blocker finished second. So we took 1-2 there. The 60-meter hurdles, Kimyon McLeod, who finished first there. I hope I'm not missing anybody. But let me see who we got. All right. So with that said, I've got 3 people here. Let's bring these ladies on. We've got first up. Let's see who we got here. We got Brianna Brown Marshall, champion. What up, champ? How you doing, champ?
I'm good. How y'all doing?
Great. We've also got Nia Blocker. Nia, what up, champ? How you doing, champ?
I'm doing pretty good.
All right. And we've also got Kimyon McLeod. Kimyon, how you doing? What up, champ? How you doing? Oh, you're on mute.
Sorry.
That's all right.
It happens.
Good to see you.
Thank you.
Good to see you. Well, first off, congratulations, ladies.
Thank you.
Congratulations on your individual and your team performances. We'll go so that way we'll kind of go left to right as everybody sees down on the squares. There's Kimyon down in the bottom left, in center square, in the middle, there's Nia, and then Brianna to the right. All right, let's kind of start to the left, and we'll go with Kimyon. Let's start by hold on. We got Coach. I think we got Coach in as well. Let's see if we can bring Coach in as well. Coach G.
Yeah, can you hear me?
We got you,
Yes,
Coach.
sir.
Oh man, I was having some trouble over here. They tell you I'll be having trouble with this phone.
That's all right, Coach. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Coach.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Hey, and we've got Kimmy. And let me hold on. Am I saying that right, Kimyon? Am I saying that correctly?
It's actually,
Say it again.
it's Kimon.
Kimon. See? Thank you. I apologize for getting it wrong and butchering it. From now on, it's Kimon. All right. So we got Kimon, Nia, and Brianna on the show. Coach, before we talk to them, let me get you in here to first word, kind of talk a little bit about the performance by not just these young ladies, but the team overall over the weekend.
The team, I mean, they stepped up. I mean, they knew what the mission was, and they really showed me what they were made of, because we had some mishaps, but they stayed focused and they dug down deep. I mean, it started with the DMR on Saturday night. We weren't we weren't even going to run a DMR. We had talked about trying to save them. And then Coach Kitchen said, I really think that we can pull it off. We put it together. And I mean, they really stepped up and did what they needed to do.
All right. That's surprising to see. I would have figured with the experience we had in the cross country, that was just a given. But that's good to know that it was kind of one of those last minute, and that win might have, did that win kind of set up the points race for the next day? It probably had a big impact.
Yeah, it did. I mean, we talked about it earlier in the week, and we were like, okay, if we were really trying to decide if we wanted to spread. It was Nia, because Nia was going to have a long weekend, and with her being a freshman, we didn't want to put a lot of pressure on her. But Coach Kitchen said she can handle it, and she showed it. She had been killing workouts and practice, and it's like, okay, we want to win, but we want to be fair to them to make sure that they can all achieve their personal goals as well, and they stepped up.
All right. So let's go to Kimon. Everybody, let me make sure to pull up so we can see Kimon there. There we go. How you doing, Kimon? We got you in there in the solo feature spot. A senior from St. Catherine, Jamaica. You've had a heck of a season this year. Obviously, you won the 600-meter hurdles. Talk a little bit about the experience of this season and it kind of culminating with that win.
Okay, so it's actually 60-meter hurdles.
I'm sorry. Thank you. 60-meter hurdles. What did I say? I'm all over the place today. Sorry.
It's fine. Um, I'm I'm just really grateful to have that race. Um, Usually I always do good in the season, but when it comes to competition, I never really put it together. And this is my first time actually putting it together. Obviously, having won and broke the record, I'm just really grateful for that.
All right. All right. Marcus or Kelvin, you got any questions for Kimon while we got her here?
Yes, I wanted to ask, and actually, it's for all three of the young ladies when we get to them. But tell us about your journey to FAMU and how you ended up gracing us at this highest of seven hills.
So we'll start with you, Kimon. We'll go to you, and then we'll go to Naya, and then Brianna. So Kimon.
Okay, could you repeat the question, please?
How did you end up at FAMU?
Well, I was looking for a school to go to, and there were a lot of coaches that vouched for Coach G as being a great coach. And this is my first, I've transferred 3 times, and during that 3 time, no coach have spoken the coaches I've worked with before, and seeing that person's know him and don't know him speaking so highly of him, I thought that this was the best decision for me to come here and experience not only the coaching but the school being the #1 HBCU school.
Oh, well, thank you.
Great decision. You feel like it's a great decision. It looks like it's worked out pretty well, right?
Yes.
How about you, Naya? Tell us about your experience and journey. How you got to FAMU?
So I actually started off at Rickards, and then my coach, Coach Butler, told me high things of Coach G, and he told me how Coach Butler told me how Coach G was actually trained him. So I thought that it would be a very wise decision for me to go to Coach G.
Well, thank you.
Good move. Good move. How about you, Brianna?
I this is my second year at FAMU. Coach G came last year he came last year when I was already here. I was recruited by a coach before him, but so far I love Coach G. He's Coach G. He's high spirited, bipolar.
That's a nice way of saying that I'm crazy.
It's hard to hate him. It's hard to defend. He is a great coach. He's very motivational. He knows how to get me locked in and on things I need to do on the track and in the classroom. So, everything's good. We love G. And FAMU too.
All right.
Kelvin, how about you?
So my coaches for Coach G and all three young ladies. Coach G, what do you attribute your success in year one in indoor in terms of developing these young ladies and being able to compete immediately for a conference championship? Give me a couple of factors that contributed to the team success, and then for each lady, I like to know from their perspective, a couple of things that have happened that help them contribute to winning their events.
I mean, first, trusting in the process. I've had a vision for the program and, conveying that to them, expressing to them the importance of being focused the importance of not only their athletic, career, but their academic career and how they play a role and they work hand in hand. For them, they're all driven in their own way. So for me, it's about trying to figure out how to motivate them. I mean, Kimon and I were just laughing on Sunday, like not bad from the first week of practice, me wanting to kick you off the team. And that's basically because I'm like, look, I only know one way. You either all in or you all out. If you give me 100%, I'm gonna give you 110. If you give me 99, I'm giving you 0. There is no in between. And once we got to the point where she understood that's where I was coming from, and if she trusts the process, she'll be successful. We've been going well since then. I mean, Naya, I say she just has a dog in her. And those are my type of athletes. She does dig down deep. She doesn't want to lose. And I knew with her there was something special when she came in and she was having some shin issues. So we had to take it light at the beginning. And she just worked out on this machine called a real runner. So she was barely on the track, but she worked out on that real runner. We came out and had a time trial. And I think she ran the second fastest time. And I'm like, there's just no that fight in her that you can't teach. For Brianna's been through so much. Again, a fighter. I recruited her back when I was at the University of Maryland. When I got here and saw that she was here, just from the conversations I had with her there, I'm like, okay, she's a fighter. So for all of them, they have that intangible of just digging down and finding it within themselves. They have that it factor that you can't teach. Once they figure it out mentally, they're gonna be hard to be beat. And that's where they are now. It was my job and our staff's job to bring it out of them.
Restate your question again, Kelvin, and we'll start with Naya this time.
Well, I just want them to, in their own words, a couple of things that they think happened that allowed them to be able to compete for a championship in year one. This year in the SWAC, what's the secret sauce to success?
I wouldn't say that it's a secret sauce. It's really just me trusting in Coach G and trusting in his training. Honestly, it's just me putting all my trust into him.
Okay, all right.
How about you, Brianna?
I would say the same, trusting the process and everything, trusting what Coach G is telling me and trusting what Coach C is telling me to do at practice, the drills, not letting one bad practice or one bad meet affect anything that I have going on throughout the years, knowing there's more meets to come, there's more chances to prove myself in, just working hard.
All right.
Absolutely.
And Kimon?
As everyone said, it's really about trusting Coach G. When Brianna said he's really motivational, I think like that's played a big factor in everyone's success, because I've never met a coach that's really encouraged an athlete and believe in an athlete like Coach G. And I felt like if he wasn't as strict and motivational as he was, be where I am today. And also the team, the team has, I think it's just different, and that contributed to the team overall success. Yeah.
Let me ask a question of Brianna, because Brianna, so I'm gonna say Brianna's probably the veteran of the group that we have here, but you're also you're in a field event, so talk about the dynamics of when you see that team photo and you see the joy amongst everybody, field athletes and the track athletes, but hearing you guys talk about coach and the coaches, I hear a common theme there. So talk a little bit about the relationship that the field and the track athletes have, and how working together and supporting one another played a role in the success this season.
I feel like since I am a jumper, I don't really work out with Naya nor Kimon unless we're in the weight room. But I'm mostly with J Crew, which is the jump squad. I feel like as a whole, our team is just, there's a lot of personalities here, there, everywhere. So there's no boring practice. There'll never be a boring practice. There won't be a boring, anything we do is going to be laughing, joking. But when it's time to get down to business, we get it done. But the feeling of winning SWAC with my female athletes, well, teammates, it feels good. It felt good seeing everybody all together, happy, smiling. I just feel like everybody did their part and we did it. We did good.
And I don't know if you had a sense of this because when you were it's real and I don't know what the sense is obviously when you're in the arena, but watching it, we're able to kind of follow along and we see your events, right? We see Kimon win, we see Naya win, and then we're scoreboard watching. We're counting points at that point. We're watching the points and we're getting to a point where Alabama State and FAM are running neck and neck and we're trading points. And then I told somebody when you jumped the first heat, I guess, of the finals, Brianna, and I saw how far you jumped in the first heat. I guess you had gotten to a certain point where you were the top jumper or high jumper, right? And then the second heat came up, and so at that point, I'm playing armchair track analyst here. Coach G, I have no track analyst skills at all, but I'm number crunching, right? I'm looking at who Alabama State has jumping, and I'm saying, well, doggone, I don't know, I'm a novice here, so don't laugh too hard. I'm looking at all these P's, and I'm saying, wait a minute, Brianna is all the way at like I don't know how far, you were almost at like 5 feet something at that point in the first stage, and I'm watching all these other ladies kind of fall to the side. And then when the commentators come in and say, well, here we go with the final heat. Here comes Brianna back in. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Brianna's jumping again. And then, Brianna, you're clearing these marks in like the first attempt. And even my good friend Mo Carter was like, good Lord. I mean, you had everybody shook. How did it feel in the moment when it was just you? Like, because you were the center stage. Like on video, you had, I think Kenya even said it. Kenya had people, what did Kenya say right here? You had people in their living rooms like going through it, or Brianna, excuse me. Talk a little bit about that moment. And did you have a sense of what was going on around you while you're in it?
Honestly, I don't. What goes on around me while I'm high jumping, I have no idea. I'm focused on one thing and one thing only. Only thing that I can hear is either Coach G or Coach C telling me to kick my feet over that bar. I can't hear nothing else. I don't focus on nothing. I be locked in, I'm zoned in. But at that moment at conference, I did. Once I realized I was the last jumper, it did feel good. It was all eyes on me. So no other running events going on. No more field events. It's just me in the bar. But it's a good feeling. I liked having the whole auditorium cheering for me, clapping, from different teams, everybody being supportive. It was a good feeling.
And you had the 6 foot mark. You cleared the 6 foot mark. And what was the next mark that you were trying to clear?
The next mark was, I think, 6'125".
And so you're coming up on that third attempt. And I mean, obviously it was I don't know, the air or just the skin of your back calf which hit the pole. Is that talk a little bit about that mark? Do you feel like that's something you can clear in the next competition?
Oh, most definitely. After getting over 6 foot, which was it was a hurdle for me. I was trying to get it all season, so getting to that conference was a good feeling. But the next height was knowing my last attempt. I was feeling good. The first 2 attempts were just like trying to scope it out. But the last attempt, I know now that I can definitely clear it next competition. It will be cleared. Yes.
Nice. Love to hear that. Coach G, what about the moment there as you're talk about how you and we lost Coach G, so I know there he is. Okay, Coach, we got you back. And we got some visual. There he is, ladies and gentlemen. Coach, I was gonna ask you about the moment. Do you have a sense? Are you scoreboard watching, counting numbers, just like we were at home watching the broadcast?
Oh, most definitely. I was about to have a heart attack. I came from the back from the four to getting the 4x4 ready, and I come out and they was like, "It's one jumper left." I didn't see Bree. My heart went to my feet. Like, who left? And it's like Brianna. I was like, "Oh, okay, cool. Now we can keep moving on to this 4x4." Because my thing is, we get to the 4x4, we're not losing. So it was just being out there to support her. She told me it was my fault that she just missed it because she had been listening to me say kick, but I went to go make sure the 4x4 was good. So I left. I was like, oh, she got this cake. And she just barely missed it. But it's surreal because this is a moment that I've been waiting for 23 years. I've been coaching 23 years, and this is the first championship I've had as a head coach. And it meant more to me than I had athletes in the last 5 Olympic Games, world champions, NCAA champion. This meant more than all of that together.
Why is that, Coach? Tell people kind of a little bit why this one. I don't want to. You've had those great accomplishments but what is it that makes this one so special for you?
Because it's the team. Everyone came together. It's a vision that I've had to get athletes together to believe, be on one accord, and to win a team title. The individual stuff is great, but to actually win a team title together, it means something. And it's a start. We're trying to build a legacy here, and this is the foundation. And the goal is to continue. This is this is a brick in the foundation, and we just want to keep building it up. And like I said, for me, that's the most important thing, and that's why it means so much.
Well said. Kelvin, Marcus, you got anything? Go ahead.
Coach, you bring up an interesting point about bringing up a legacy. Looking at the roster, I'm just looking at the roster construction and management. You have a good spread across different classes. Looks like you have maybe 10 freshmen, but then you have a nice balance of sophomores, juniors, seniors, and grad students. So can you talk about your vision for the roster construction from the people that you brought in and perhaps even helping to push the people that were already there?
Yeah, well, I got here last January, so it's about just recruiting pretty much a new team, filling in some pieces that were missing. And like you said, we have freshmen, we have underclassmen, upperclassmen. Actually, Bree has another 2 years, two, right, Bree?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, all
And
right.
then Kimon has another year. Naya has 3 more. So we're on the right track. We're definitely on the right track. We're only losing, actually, out of the people that scored, we're losing Danae, our thrower, Rory Lowe,
Yeah.
and yeah, and Mia Hurd. We're only losing 3 people. We're only losing 3, and I had a recruit on campus today. So we gonna keep it going. That is
Yeah.
definitely the plan. Like I said, it's about building a foundation and something that's going to be long lasting. If we're going to be the first HBC to win a national championship, it's going to
There
start.
you
It's
go.
starting with this group, and it's going
Speak
to
it.
go from
Speak
there.
it.
Speak it in. Exactly.
Mhm.
Speak it in. Yes, sir. Yes,
And
indeed.
I think one of your signees just won Class 4A Maryland indoor
Yeah, you
championship.
you on top of it. Yes,
Oh,
Ariana Latson. Yes.
Oh, that's what Marcus does, Coach.
Mhm.
Marcus is on it. Hey, Marcus doesn't just concentrate on football. We know about everything going on in all our sports. Okay, so what is next? Is it the NCAAs? Is that how it works? The regionals and then the nationals. Let people know what is next for these ladies.
We'll just get ready for outdoors, so we're going to get back to training. Our first competition to be the UCF Black and Gold. It's a spring break meet down in Orlando on March 15th and 16th. So right now they've had their couple of days to recover, and we putting that trophy on the shelf and getting ready to go after the next one. So we'll be training hard over the next 4 to 5 weeks, and we'll open up there. We have Florida State relays, then Florida relays, and then we're off a week, and we're back to Tom Jones, off a week, East Coast relays, and then we'll be, before you know it, snap your fingers, and we'll be a Southern at the Outdoor Championships.
Oh, that okay. So that's who's hosting the outdoor championships this year, Southern.
Yes, yeah, they got a brand new facility, so they're hosting it, and so that's where we'll be at.
Okay, okay.
Um,
I'm just curious. I mentioned so we don't do anything. If there's no national indoor that we do, or our focus now shifts to the outdoor, right?
yeah. They were right on the cusp of, like, Bree was on the cusp of qualifying. Naya, we had to win a little bit faster, but see, they don't have regionals indoors. Well, they will now. In 25, they voted it in to have an indoor regional, just like they do outdoors. So next year we would have one more meet to get qualified. So for right now, no, but it makes them hungry. Definitely making me hungry. And outdoors, I truly believe, Lord's will, we're gonna have a good contingent in Lexington, Kentucky at the first round, East Regional.
Okay, okay. So let me ask this, Kimon, what events or what's your best events in the outdoor? Obviously, I don't. You're a hurdler, obviously, but I don't think the 60 moves out, right? If I'm a novice here, so bear with me here. I don't think the 60 is an outdoor. What's your outdoor events?
Well, for right now, outdoor event is just the 100-meter hurdles. Whatever else Coach G have in mind, I'm up for it. But it's just hurdles right now.
Okay.
In a relay, a couple relays.
Okay. Okay. See, I already spoke that into existence there for you. Uh, and for Naya, obviously the 200 translates obviously indoor to outdoor. It's obviously a little bit different. So are you running kind of similar outdoor events? Are you hoping to run similar outdoor events, Naya?
Yes, so I know for sure that I'm going to be running the 100 and the 200, and I definitely know he going to put me on some relays.
Most definitely.
Look, you already know that question coming up. You don't even have to ask. And Brianna, you're obviously indoor to outdoor. Are there any changes that occur for you between your jumping events, outdoor to indoor?
No, nothing changed but the weather. Just from
How does that affect? How does that affect you? I mean, I don't know. Obviously, it may affect the
personally,
runners.
I love outdoor. I love being in the heat, jumping outside because we practice outside. We're outside practices, so I love long jump outdoors. Outdoor is my favorite. I like outdoor track better than indoor, but you know.
See,
Yeah, I think that's one of the things for us, that being training outside, and 100% of the time, unless we're in the gym, when it's really cold or raining, it's gonna really translate well for us as we get outside. So I'm definitely excited about where we're gonna go.
right. Um, I don't want to let you go, Coach, without talking about the men who finished in the fifth or sixth overall. What can we expect from the men over during the outdoor season? And
I
any
definitely think
any guys that you want to recognize as well from their indoor season as well. I want to give you a chance to talk about them as well.
definitely I'd probably have to start out with Joseph DeRosier. I mean, he came in as a freshman, set the school record. He had a mishap in a conference, which didn't allow him to advance. But being a freshman, sometimes that happens. But he redeemed himself by making the finals in the 200 meters. Um, Transfer Kendrick Winfield came in, set his personal best in the 400, ended up second overall because he ran in a different heat. I think it might have been different. They had been in the same heat. Of course, Dejon Clark. I mean, he stepped up, got 2 silvers. If he didn't stumble in that 60 meters, I truly believe he had that one. So the guys were really moving forward in the right direction. We just got to get a few more pieces in. We had a few injuries that, kind of cost us. But all in all, the foundation again is there. And it's just about getting the outdoors, keeping everybody healthy, and letting the chips fall where they may. But I truly believe we're going to finish better outdoors than we did indoors.
Okay, good stuff. And I want to give you a chance to kind of speak on, obviously, the fundraiser here. Let people know kind of how donating to the program helps these ladies, but also the men as well.
Yes, we are. We are in need. We are definitely in need. Of course, first off is to be able to get enough funds to purchase their championship rings. They worked hard for them, and that's the goal to get that for them. And then next is to get some recruiting dollars because, like for instance, the athlete I brought in today, that was unfair. They came on their own because they really want to be a part of the program. But we need some dollars so that I can get athletes in for a visit and I can get out and continue to recruit because without recruiting, we can't keep this going. The recruiting is the
Gotcha.
lifeline of any program. I don't care what
Absolutely.
sport it is. So any help, you click on that QR code. Any help will be greatly appreciated, and you'll be proud of what we're going to give you, both academically and athletically.
Indeed. So, you guys, that I will make sure to flash this throughout the show. Um, I know I'll make sure to tweet out this image as well. Donate, and these funds will go. Anyone who's asking, because I know people have asked in the past. It is going through the foundation, through the FAMU Foundation. So it links right there. You can donate in set amounts. 25, 50. How many ladies are part of the women's? How many total were made up of the roster?
There were a roster comprises of 32 women, and it was 17 that competed and won this championship.
All right, so we're going to tell everybody at worst case 32. 32
Mhm.
$32 for the 32 student athletes who are going to walk out of there, who walked out of Birmingham with a championship medal around their neck. That's the minimum for everybody. So whatever you got to do, that's the minimum. For everybody watching the show, the minimum is 32. Obviously, some of y'all are doing a little bit better than my teacher salary, and you might be able to give a lot more. So go ahead and do that. Give. Donate, right? Right, Kelvin?
Yes, yes, thank
Absolutely. We want to support champions, and to maintain that championship level, we have to support these ladies and our coaches. So absolutely do that. And then in the private chat, I put the link Brian. So if you can put a link in the comments, because for whatever reason it ain't coming through when I try to do it, then they had a QR code and the link.
And I wanted to let everyone know that like you said, it goes to the foundation. That means you'll be able to get your receipt for a tax write-up, and that QR code is specifically for track and field.
Mhm.
All right. Good deal. Okay. I'll make sure to put that out there. Okay. Let's kind of close it off by giving everybody an opportunity to give a shout out to anybody who might be watching. So Kimon, I'll start with you. Any shout outs you want to give, say hellos to, congratulations, thanks. Last word is yours, Kimon.
I just want to say thank you to OG, Dr. Campbell, my and my best friend Marie. Yeah. Yes.
All right. Naya, how about you? Any shout outs or thanks? Anything you want to give out?
I just want to thank Koji for giving me a chance and believing in me.
Boy,
And
y'all
definitely.
gonna have me misty up in here, boy. Brianna, how about you? Any shout outs or thanks you want to give?
I want to shout out everybody. Of course, Coach G, Coach C, my coaches, love them to death. Let's then thank y'all for supporting the track and field, women and female. Women and men. Thank you, and thank you, Coach G, of course.
Hey,
Thank you all.
Coach, last word is yours, Coach. Last word is yours.
Well, I thank all of them for trusting in the process, trusting in myself, the staff, and what we're trying to do. I have to say thank you to Dr. Robinson, Mike Smith, my sport administrator, Tiffany Dawn Sykes, the athletic director, the 220 class. Man, it's so many people that have helped us get to this point. But we're truly appreciative, and we're just looking forward to more. And thank you all for having us and giving us this platform to be able to speak about the program so people know what we're doing and your support. Because without you guys, no one would know. Without social media, no one would know. So we're truly blessed and thankful.
Hey, well, Coach, it was great. Great television. It was great
It
drama.
was.
I mean, it really was exciting to watch. I wish I could have clipped more, but I'm telling you, it was a great Sunday. I'm sure it was a great Sunday for all of you. Thank you for all that you have given to FAMU, all that you do to represent us and make us look good so that we can get out here amongst the masses and brag different and talk our smack about what our student athletes are doing better than their student athletes. Uh, Thank you on behalf of
Yes.
Rattler Nation. Thank you on behalf of the alumni and
Yes.
everybody. And we got to get some shirts, guys. Kelvin, we got to find and get some track championship shirts. I got to start sporting some gear with all these. I'm putting some medals up back here. All these Brianna's got the red hat. That's what I'd like to see. I like that start.
We got you. We got you. We got you. Kelvin, you hit me offline. We got you.
I got you, Coach. And I just want to
Okay.
echo. We've got a very storied tradition in track at FAMU, and it had kind of been a little dormant for a couple of years, but to see what the young ladies and yourself and your staff has done and brought it back so quickly, man. Again, I want to echo, thank you. You appreciate it. We see you, and we're going to continue to follow you. This platform is always available for you and the young ladies and your staff. So we're here to support in any way possible. So if you ever need to get something out, let us know. And again, thank you. I didn't get a chance to see it live, and so I went back Brian Sunday and watched it. The whole thing. Well, Monday actually. So and it was great. It was great. I mean, Mo was great. The coach who was giving commentary, it was great. The quality of the video was great, man. So, you got folks watching track on a Monday after work. So keep doing what you're doing.
On the right track. On the right track.
Yes. Yeah.
And yeah, like the social media stuff is great. I mean, the track and field video recap stuff. I mean, just a lot of attention, man. And I'm so happy for all of you. And let's keep the momentum going. And like Coach said, we turn in the page. We say we're on the outdoor now. We're on the outdoor. So all right. Well, hey, thank you, everybody. Thank you, Kimon, Naya, Brianna. Thank you to all the track athletes, the ladies, the men, all of you for what you did.
Assistant
representing
coaches.
assistant coaches as well, and especially you, Coach G, for having the vision. And you're starting to see that vision. I know it's a beautiful thing when you see it and you start to see it come to fruition. I know it's a beautiful thing. So
Talk
congratulations.
your talk, Coach. Poke your chest out a little bit, Coach.
Hey,
Not yet. We got one more to go. One more to go.
Look, I'm speaking that sweep. I'm speaking the sweep into existence, Coach. The cross country, the indoor and outdoor. I'm speaking it into existence. So it is what it
I
is.
received that. I received that.
Amen. All right. Hey, you guys make sure to follow our social media. Yeah, anybody want to give a social media handle out? Kimon, you want people to follow you? What's your social media handle? You want to put that out there?
For the
Well, he couldn't hear you.
Wait a minute. Say again because you broke up a little bit.
underscore dot KINY 21 dot I believe.
All right. And so All right. Oh, I'm gonna have to find you and retweet that. There's a lot going on in that one, Kimon. Hold on. Say it one more time for us.
Unders dot KIMMY 21.
All right. Good deal. Naya, how about you? You want to give any social media plugs?
Okay. It's NYAYVETTE._.
That's your middle name, really?
Yes.
No. Hey, hold on. This is a small world. That's funny. My sister's first name is Naya, and her middle name is Yvette. Ooh, small world. We might be related somewhere down the line. Naya Block. I'm gonna have to talk to you next time I get to Tallahassee. Brianna, how about you? Any social media you want to give out?
My Instagram is hooper.bree 3.
Okay.
I know.
That's all right though. I like that.
Wait, let me tell you, when she moved out of the dorm over Christmas break, she had left her stuff, and I had to help get it. And I saw the basketball, and I took the basketball. Ain't no more basketball.
I've been looking for that.
Exactly. I took it.
I SOC 3 times. I was like, I think my ball is at the house.
And I was going to ask that question too. If you played other sports, if you played basketball or volleyball.
Played everything. I did basketball, volleyball, softball, track. Track was really just it was a sport to keep me in shape for basketball. But then I just became good at it. So here I am today.
See, look at that. All right. Yes, and now you know who's got the basketball. So there you go. Mystery solved. We break news and we solve mysteries right here on the O&G StrikeZone, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, thank you guys. Thank you all. Congratulations, champs, from this day forward. And we look forward to following you and hopefully talking to you again during the outdoor season.
Mm-hmm. Feel free to follow us, either the O&G StrikeZone or any of our individual accounts.
Yeah, and I'll make sure to hit those social media handles up so that way you guys who are in the chat rooms you want to follow, you can we'll make sure to tag them so that way you guys can follow. So, all right, thank you again, Kimon, Naya, Brianna.
Oh wait! I got one thing.
Oh yeah.
Make sure you check the track and field social media in the next 2 weeks. There's going to be something special up there for everyone to follow, and yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. But it's gonna be something special. I think everyone's gonna like.
Okay, and that's all right. Okay, yeah, we'll make sure to.
Yeah, not this week, but definitely next week.
Okay, well, we know we're following, so we'll definitely be looking out for it. All right, Coach, nice tease. There you go. He knows how to do it. All right, thank you, champs. You guys be well. Have a good evening. Everybody else, stay tuned. We'll be back right after these words. You're watching the O&G StrikeZone right here on the Black College Sports Network.
Thank you.
The Cuvée Group is a Florida-based marketing and training consulting firm. We help businesses communicate to their target audience and engage them in conversation. We also help to expand their audiences, which will ultimately result in growth for those organizations. In addition to being a certified constant contact specialist, my colleagues and I are also certified in John Maxwell Leadership Principles. We use these proven principles to conduct workshops, training, and private coaching sessions for individuals and companies looking to take things to the next level. Contact us to schedule a free consultation. Issues today, don't delay, call Cuvée.
This is the Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavill of Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up in the lab where the course lecture is in session every Tuesday from 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube Spreaker, or the BCSN app, as we discuss all things about the HBCU sports culture, including exploring the week that was in the sporting HBCU diaspora, as well as the upcoming week of HBCU sports. With me, the Dean, the College of HBCU Sports, on Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Course lecture dismissed.
From novice to aficionado, find yourself here. High quality cigars plus personal customer service. Slow Burn is Waco's only mobile cigar lounge, featuring a meticulous, curated collection of premium cigars. Visit our website, www.slowburnwaco.com. That's www.slowburnwaco.com.
All right, welcome back to the O&G StrikeZone. Bryan, Kelvin, Marcus. Just want to flash this up one more time for everybody. Appreciate those of you who jumped in and did donate while you were listening to our conversation with Coach G, Kimon, Naya, and Brianna. Appreciate you guys, and we'll make sure to send that out. And I did post, hopefully the link that I put in the chat room on the chats came through as well. So
It did.
Okay, good. Good.
It's not hyperlink, but it came through.
Yeah, I don't know why. Send you that QR code, Terrence. I will. I don't know how to do that. How am I going to do that? Hey, if you guys, if you specifically want me, I know Kelvin. There's a couple different ways. So look, do this. If you really want me to send that QR code, I can't actually do it. You know, you just send me an email, ongstrikezone@gmail.com, or I will make sure to retweet this image on our social medias, not only our Twitter feed, but also our Facebook and Instagram right after the show. I promise. So Terrence, that's how you can get that. But if you do want me to send it to you directly, Terrence, send us an email, ongstrikezone@gmail.com. Again, there's the event champions again, just in case you wanted to see it. The foundation code for track. Do you know it offhand, anybody? And here's the thing. I know Gail asked, what's the foundation code for track? I don't know. I do know. Here's the thing. I know there are.
But a hyperlink takes you right to it. Like Coach said, the QR code as well as the link that you put into the chat, it takes you directly to the that is the track foundation page. And it's also on my the link is on my Twitter account too.
Yeah, I don't know how to get that link to show up and actually be a direct link because it's so long.
Right.
It's so hard. But and the reason why her coach say that there is a men's track and there's a women's track. I was at the foundation page earlier.
And you can choose and that page allows you to choose women, men, or both. You can split it.
Gotcha. All right. So there you go. There's our champions again. You see Tiana Brown. Shout out to Tiana Brown, who she finished first and Naya finished second. Again, Tiana finished with a time of 7.39. Naya finished with a 7.42. Rory Lowe also finished in fifth in the 60 meters for the women. Kimon finished first in the 60-meter hurdles. Caitlin Smith finished fifth in the 60-meter hurdles.
True
then
freshman.
Yeah, 2 freshmen. Okay, 2. Well,
True
Caitlin's
freshman. True freshman.
true
Yeah.
freshman. Yeah, Naya's a true freshman, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Um, the 200 meters. There you see Naya. Tiana Brown finished second, so it's almost like the two switched. Or I'm sorry, Tiana finished fourth. Rory finished sixth. Now I watched the 200 meters. There was 2 different heats, and so it was all time based in terms of who won. And it just so happened Naya, Tiana, and Rory all were running in the second, or if not the let me have them in groups of 4. So I think there was a third. So they ran them in groups of 4. So they were actually in the third heat, which I think was the fastest heat, by the way. And so that's how, Naya ended up with the fastest time, then Tiana the 4th fastest, and then Rory with the 6th, but all points, all scoring points. 400 meters, Tatiana Martinez, she finished in 3rd, and Rory Lowe finished in 4th. In the 800 meters, Alicia Douglas finished 2nd. In the mile, Naya finished 6th out of 10. In the 5,000, that's Nia Coleman. Excuse me, I got to be specific here because there's 2 Nias on the team. So that's Coleman, who finished 6th in the mile. Then Nia Coleman finished 4th in the 5,000 meters. Serenity Williams finished 10th. There was even one point where I think Nia and Serenity were kind of setting the pace early on in that race because I was watching a little bit of that race. And then, of course, the 4x400 was won by Tatiana Martinez, Rory Lowe, Lacey DeBoski, Alicia Douglas. Again, all 4 of those ladies were part of the cross-country team that won the championship in the fall. The distance relay team, I don't have the name, but I think it might have been the same group of 4 that ran the 4x4. Yeah. And then, of course, in the field events, Brianna Brown Marshall was the highlight with her 6-foot mark. The long jump, Mia Hurd finished 3rd in the long jump. Brianna finished 11th, and Jordan Ash finished 19th. The shot put, which I'm going to tell you guys what, when I was doing that, when I was watching it live, Danae Hill finishing 7th was very key in the points because I think she scored a point or 2, which kind of kept us right when we were running neck and neck with Alabama State. She finished 7th, and she picked up a point or 2, and those were big points that she picked up. In the triple jump, Jordan Ash finished 12th in the triple jump. And you heard Coach talk about the men. The highest finisher that we had in the men, we had Dejon Clark, who finished 2nd in the 60. Kendrick Winfield finished 2nd in the 400. William Shelton finished 3rd. Let's see. Yeah, I think those are pretty much the top performers there for the men. All right. Let's move over for a second to another sport. Before I know, coming up here, we've got Angela is going to come up here and talk about the HBCU Legacy Bowl. We want to give you guys an opportunity. Kelvin, you want to talk about tennis here for a second?
We had our first cluster, and it was 2 different sites. So, because I saw the so we swept, didn't lose a set, didn't even come close losing that set, and all three. I think we played Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and we did what we anticipate this team to do. This team swept the SWAC last year. I'm not sure if we lost a set in the SWAC.
Nope, we didn't.
So I mean, and they were mostly freshmen. Yeah, one upperclassman from last year's team. So essentially the same team is back, and we anticipated that we will be very competitive in the SWAC, and it's just good that that we're showing our capabilities and we're healthy, and hopefully we'll maintain that.
And anything you want to add in there, Marcus?
No, just starting out where we finished off in the conference. So hopefully it'll continue.
Congrats to Sarah Rakim. Second week she's been the SWAC or a SWAC co-player of the week. Every week of the season, which I think there's only been 4 now, we've had a share of the player of the week honors in the first 4 weeks. So, there's your recap of the weekend in terms of scores. And if you look down in the real bottom corner, I put the summary there of what everybody did. We finished 3-0. Alabama State finished 2-0. So those were the only 2 teams that went unbeaten. Jackson State and Prairie View went 2-1. Obviously, you can see Jackson State and Prairie View played each other. But then Jackson State lost to Alabama State. Alcorn and Southern finished 1-1. Bethune went 1-2. Alabama A&M went 1-2. Grambling and Mississippi Valley State winless. There are only 10 schools that are playing tennis. So there's that.
So the Texas schools don't play tennis, women's tennis.
Well, Prairie View does.
Prairie View does.
Texas Southern, and I was just trying to do it in
Pine
my
Bluff.
UAPB, yeah, UAPB. Those are the only 2 that don't. Yep. All right. Let's go. Let's transition over to football and the HBCU Legacy Bowl here for a second, while we got our next guest up. Obviously, hold on. Did I clip any images? I don't have any images prepared, but the HBC Legacy Bowl is happening right now. Actually, game time. Do we know the game time? Do you guys have the game time handy anywhere?
No, not off the top of my head.
All right. Well, I believe it's Saturday at 2:00 Eastern. Or 2:00 Eastern. Let me bring in our next guest, because we've got somebody who's got boots on the ground, who's actually covering the event. And welcome to the O&G StrikeZone and the Black College Sports Network, Angela Lawani. Angela, how you doing this evening?
Good. How are you guys doing?
All right.
Doing well. Well, Angela, for those of you who may not be familiar, Angela is actually going to be a graduating student from Benedict College this spring, right, Angela?
Yes.
And the one thing that I have noticed is Angela has been working with the Benedict football program over the last couple years, and she has been doing a great job on social media, posting a lot of stuff. Obviously, Benedict's had a lot to brag about over the last couple years, just like sort of FAMU has. And she's been on the field covering the team, and but more recently, she's been at a lot of the bowls for the future draft picks, and so that's where she's been. And now she's in New Orleans at the Legacy Bowl. So, Angela, why don't we just start by getting to know you a little bit? Tell us a little bit about you and how you got into working with the football program at Benedict, and maybe a little bit about what your future aspirations are.
Okay. So hi everyone, I'm Angela Wani. I'm my undergrad was in accounting and I tried to go to do my master's in accounting at University of South Carolina. I felt like it was kind of hard, so I kind of pivoted. I was always into involved in sports. I was a track athlete at Virginia State, and then I transferred over to Benedict College where I got my undergrad. And then I kind of got injured with track, so I decided to go to the football. I just took the opportunity to be like, can I become a football manager? Because I kind of helped with all sports at Virginia State since I did work study. And then I kind of made my way as a football manager. And then I started recording every play and trying to like keep the fans updated from the school. And that's why I just started that. And then I went to do my master's at University of South Carolina and kind of was a grad assistant there for operations for track. Was still helping Benedict a little bit, but not as much. I kind of helped with basketball there. And then I started becoming a track official. So I'm also a track official with University of South Carolina right now too. So I've been around a lot of sports, but football is like my main priority. So I kind of went back to do my master's in sports since my master's of accounting didn't work. And I graduate in May, and I've been working bowl games and helping a little bit of HBCU game day with different footage. I came from Virginia State homecoming, and then I went to the Southern versus the Bethune-Cookman game since I went to the NFL HBCU careers in sports combine.
Awesome. So you've been front row seat for the great season that Benedict has had, and I will say, in all honesty, obviously Benedict, the Black College Sports Network, we've had a great relationship with Benedict and been able to broadcast games for the last couple of seasons for Benedict. Well, what's it like there getting to know Coach Barry over the last couple of years, and just maybe tell us a little bit about what's it been like covering the program over the last 2 seasons.
So I kind of was running track around when it was the old coaches, but I know some of the players. So it was kind of like it had nothing there. It was like kind of like two or three coaches. The athletic director was still the same. The president was still the same. But I feel like when they hired the new coach, everything started changing. But like the old program was good, but they started off with like a low record. And then I actually came in with Coach Barry and then like finished with him, and now he's left. But we started off at 1-9, which was kind of like, oh, that's like shocking, but it was the first season for him, so I understand. And then we kind of like worked the way to the next season, which was 5-5. So we were improving, but we were trying to get players in, trying to figure out what's there to do. And then we started like doing accommodations, like the field. They helped fix the field up. This year they kind of fixed the office. They had a new weight room this year. So I feel like all of those stuff, it matters to become a better football player. And I know this year he kind of started last year, he kind of went over a book called Chop Wood, Carry Water. And I know that's a big factor to the program because he's big on God, but also he talks about having the book and they read the chapter every day of the fall camp to make sure every note, like, it's not just about football. It's after what goes around football. So he wants everybody to become a good father, a good brother, sister, and everything.
Chop wood, carry water. Okay, I'm at to look that up. Now obviously you're in at the Legacy Bowl. What's and I guess what's give us a little bit, and obviously we'll get into talking about the FAMU guys, but just talk about this journey that you've been on in covering these bowls, and I don't know if this is the last one on the circuit for you, or but just talk a little bit about your experience over the last 4 weeks.
So I started my first game at the HBC Pigskin Showdown, which started around Christmas time. That was the first bowl game. It was kind of like a little bit hard, but it kind of worked out. So it was like a week long. I think we had a couple days. It was players from all over. I know some players was injured and they actually had to call a Miles. I think it was a safety. I'm not sure what his name is. I forgot, but they called him and he was just when he came in, he was just balling. Like he had like 2 or 3 interceptions, like, and he just didn't even have no practices. He just came, like, and it was just like he was the MVP and all that too. But that experience was great. Actually, to go to the other bowl games, but I'm gonna come back to other bowl games. I came to the HBCU Legacy Bowl, which I actually know like half of these players, about actually 80 or 90% from the first pigskin game. So it kind of like shows how they worked from the first bowl game all the way to this bowl game. So they started in December and now they work their self in February. And then I went to the podium bowl game, which it was like a O line from Lincoln University, Vincent, and then I went to the Dream Bowl and then the East and West Shrine Bowl. So I know the Dream Bowl had a couple HBCU athletes, but the East and West Shrine Bowl, it was like it wasn't really. I think we had. Oh, we did. We had the O line from Howard, um, and a couple of them didn't play because they're trying to get ready for the draft. So I understand that, but it was the O line and somebody from Grambling, Sudanti, something like that. Yeah, I forgot his name, but he was like outstanding too.
Yeah, Sundiata Anderson, I
Yes.
believe.
Yes. Yeah. And then we had somebody from Texas Southern. I think he went to Jackson State at first and then he transferred. So he was a good player as well.
Okay. 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 So we know with the Legacy Bowl, started with the combine earlier in the week. We got some rattlers in the house. Obviously, let me see and back me up here, guys. Make sure I don't forget anybody. Of course, we got Jeremy Musa, quarterback, who's there. We've got wide receiver Marcus Riley. We have defensive back Eric Smith, offensive lineman Cam Colvin. I feel like there's tight end Kamari
Kamari
Young.
Young.
Is there only 5, or am I missing a 6th person?
It's a 6th person, but he's hurt right now. I don't know his name, but I just found out.
It would have been Isaiah Major because that's one.
That's who I was just
Okay, because we haven't seen much from Isaiah right now.
Yeah, he's hurt. I think his feet. So.
Okay. Well, see, there you go. Getting some intel that wasn't out there that we didn't know about. It's a good tip. Okay, talk a little. I know, and I don't have the video queued up and ready, but let's talk about those. You've obviously had a chance to talk to a couple of guys, but just kind of what you've seen, observed from those guys. Maybe start with Musa because you've been watching practices too.
Yeah.
So let's kind of start with Jeremy Musa there.
So I feel like he's been dominating everything. Like the way he throws, I feel like it's perfect. And I feel like he's connecting with the tight end, which comes to Kamari Young. So they've been connecting like with the one-on-ones and all the routes. I feel like he's getting every play that's needed. That's a little bit about Jeremy Musa. So I'm gonna go to Kamari Young, which is a tight end. I feel like he has had an impressive week, demonstrating the ability to create space between him and his defenders. He has challenges like for the small defenders due to his mismatch potential. So I feel like he was like a good tight end. That like his one-on-ones today, like he was catching them, like they were on point to me. The next person, I feel like Eric Smith. I did an interview with him. Feel like he said that his 40-yard dash for the combine was really fast, but he wished it was a little faster. So I feel like he stands out as the fastest player on the field, actually, leveraging his speed effectively to maintain coverage, and he also shows potential of what's that word? Ugh. And he also plays as a free safety too, so he can do both. The next one is Marcus Riley, which is a wide receiver. He was recognized as the week's most versatile wide receiver, displaying speed and quickness.
Okay. Cam Colvin, I saw that he got a lot of attention. I think I saw a scout say that he had a very good first day. What have you seen from Cam or heard about him so far?
So I don't remember who he had talked to, but he did mention that he had talked to a couple of scouts, but I feel like he did really good too. I seen some of his reps today and yesterday, and I feel like he did really good as well.
Nice. Marcus, let you get in there and ask some questions of Angela.
Yes, well, good evening. Thank you for joining us.
No problem.
I guess my question, throughout your experience with the different bowl games and I guess postseason games. What would you share with someone who's on an HBCU roster now in order to what would they would look forward to in being a part of those games?
I feel like it's a different experience to be involved in some of these bowl games because it's all about the chance and opportunity. It's scouts everywhere, but if you work really hard and put your name to become in one of these bowl games, I feel like it's a big factor because it's not just about HBCUs. It's like making your way to be an HBCU athlete at a different bowl game, such as the East and West Shrine Bowl or the Reese's, because I know a lot of HBCUs athletes don't go to those. So going to all these bowl games, you have the opportunity to show off. Like the Podium All Star Game, that's for anybody. So just having the opportunity to go to these and see that HBCU athletes can do it too, I feel like HBCU athletes can also like make their way to the game too as well.
Thank you.
How about you, Kelvin?
I'm wondering, do you see any differences or advantages between the bowl games? For instance, you mentioned the Reese's Bowl and the East West Shrine Bowl that have a little bit more sponsorship, typically a little more visibility, and has more non HBCU athletes. Um, just tell me what differences that you see, both in terms of the talent level, if there's any difference, and then how they operate those different events.
I feel like the talent is a little bit different, but like HBCU athletes, they don't really look at them. But a lot of HBCU athletes have talent. So for example, the East and West Shrine Bowl, they had the boy from Grambling and Howard. But I feel like if they look at other HBCU athletes, it would be good thing too because they get the opportunity to be in part of these other bowl games. But I feel like um it's a little bit different, but to me, I feel like HBCU athletes have a lot of talent, but a lot of people don't look at like that. They just say, "Oh, they play at a HBCU," so that's not a. Some are HBCUs are D1, but they just be like they're not leveled up to like, for example, a big school.
So, how has your experience been at this particular Legacy Bowl this week? How have you enjoyed it? Is this your first time in New Orleans? What do you think about this event?
So this is my first time. I actually like it. It's kind of different than the first HBC Piston Showdown, which was the other first HBC. But I'm actually liking this because it's my first time getting involved. I'm actually going to the career fair, which I feel like is a good thing for the players too. It's not just about playing football. They're actually getting involved in the career fair. They're actually getting involved with They just came back from a community event. They're taken to dinner. I just actually met with Steven Witch, I think that's his name.
Weish,
Steve
yeah,
Weiss.
Weish.
Yeah, sorry. Steve Weiss. I feel like he's a big person to me. He's an NFL reporter, so I feel like that kind of like helped me network. He told me to come tomorrow to the career fair. So him, and then I met the ESPN commentator. So I feel like it's a lot of stuff going on, and I feel like it's actually worth being here because it's not just about the athletes; it's about people who's working here and they're trying to do the career fair too. So it's a opportunity for everything after a football too.
Okay. Please
Awesome.
tell Steve we said what's up. He's a friend of the
Um,
program. So tell him the O&G Strike Zone said what's up and dry his tears from that
And go Rattlers.
celebration bowl.
Yeah, just
tell them,
he'll
tell them the O&G strikes don't say go Rattlers.
I see him tomorrow morning. I will tell him.
yeah, he knows. He knows. So Angela, what is your career? What are your career aspirations? I mean, you've done a lot. I mean, so when you go to the career fair tomorrow, what are
Mhm.
you when they ask you about your future plans? What are you telling? What are you going to tell these folks?
So right now, like I said, I'm graduating with my master's in sports, and my undergrad was accounting. So I have kind of like a business and sports route, which I feel like is a benefit to them. But also getting experience with media, getting my name out there. So I feel like I want to do operations, but any opportunity given, I would take it and like learn from it. So I'm applying to all these internships. Like for example, training camp, applying to these fellowships for the NFL, the NBA, and all that. So I feel like going to all these career fairs, HBC Legacy Bowls, or all the bowl games, I feel like it's a good thing to me because I'm networking, and they always can look at me like, oh, I'm at everywhere. Like I just met some scouts from the first game, and they remember me. They're like, oh, I remember you from the first game, the second game, the third game. So I feel like networking is key, but I feel like it's going to help me down the line. So, like I said, I'm applying to all these stuff, and they also have interviews on deck tomorrow and Friday. So you never know, I can end the job.
Amen. Hey, well, we're rooting for anybody to get a job opportunity in this these days. So we wishing you the best with that. You just mentioned that you had a chance to kind of run into some scouts, and you touched on this just a little bit. The difference you see very little difference between
Hmm.
some of the guys that have been, let's say, the Shrine Bowl, which that's a nice mix of guys from all over the college football scene. Power Five, Group of Five, maybe even some Division II guys there as well. You don't see much difference from those guys versus the guys that you've seen at the Legacy Bowl, huh?
To me, I feel like HBCU athletes have the talent too. It's just hindered. Like a lot of people don't look at them like that. So to me, I feel like not really, because a lot of people are missing reps at the East and West Shrine Bowl, the Dream Bowl, the Podium Bowl. So it's really about the opportunity that's given to put your name out there, but also to show your talent.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Um, okay, so recap for or just not remind us again when the game is. The game is Saturday, right? Saturday afternoon.
Yes, I think it's 2 p.m. Eastern time.
Okay. And I believe it's going to be on NFL Network, correct?
Yes.
Have you had a chance to meet or talk with like Doug Williams or
No,
Aeneas? You haven't bumped into them yet.
they've
Who
been on the
who
run. I'm gonna try to talk to them tomorrow.
Right. Okay. I was gonna say, and you obviously Coach Barry. You got to tell Coach Barry, Coach, can I get a one-on-one here? Now that you got to get a sit-down one-on-one. Coach has transitioned from being at Benedict to
To
South
South
Carolina
Carolina State.
State.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta get that. You gotta tell Coach to get you that interview. Anybody else that you're looking forward to talking with while you're at the Legacy Bowl?
Basically, like I met somebody, I forgot who he is, but he's part of the black sports. I know he's involved in that, but he works with the Riddle. I think that's how you say it. The I
You
don't know if
got
it's called Riddle, but like the what's that? I can't think of
the
it.
the the apparel company, not
Yeah,
the
the
apparel
apparel.
company.
Yeah,
Oh, is that that's not is that the helmets? That's not the helmet manufacturer, is it?
I
Yeah,
don't know.
Riddell,
Riddell.
Rydell.
Okay,
Riddell
I didn't know what it was
Yeah.
called. Sorry.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah.
all right.
I talked to him and he like connected with HBCUs too, so I was gonna try to network with him tomorrow as well. So I feel like they said they're a part of and they do a lot of initiatives. So I was gonna try to get involved with them and stop at the NFL booth. But I know they have like 10 NFL teams that's gonna be there and a lot of Adidas, Allstate, a lot of companies are gonna be there. I think like about 100. So
Nice. Okay. Okay.
So, have you heard anyone? Is there anybody generating a little bit buzz above everybody else? Right? Who are the scouts, the coaches? Who's got the buzz right now in terms of the players?
hmm. Like out of all the players,
Yeah. Yes.
um, to me it was the player from NCAT. His name is Tyreek Stewart. A lot of people were
Okay.
looking at him. Jablonski Green, he met with 2 scouts yesterday.
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
South Carolina
Um,
State.
and trying to think.
Green is a defensive end, correct? Jablonski,
D
Yes.
lineman. Yes.
D lineman. Okay.
Luber Danellis.
Oh yeah. You know Lubert.
Yeah, he was getting talked about today from the NFL reporter as well. So and then Eric Smith was looking at trying also Joshua Hayward.
Where's he
And
from?
Joshua Hayward is from Benedict.
Okay.
Jordan Carter's from Southern University.
Hmm.
And not let me not forget the quarterback from North Carolina Central, Davius Richard.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
of course. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and yeah. Everyone's gonna talk about him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Um. Yeah.
Especially after he ran down 4.5
Yeah.
flat.
Not bad. Not bad at all. There might have been. Was that probably the? Well, I don't know. Let me see. The other quarterbacks
Yeah.
there.
at his size, legit 6'3", over 200 pounds, who can actually throw the ball, can and still have that kind of athleticism. That gives him an opportunity if he performs. That gives him a real opportunity.
And then I have two more. The August Petrie, I think, if I'm not trying to say his name wrong. He's from Southern. He had when he jumped, he
Vertical.
the vertical. He was like really good with that one. And then Terrell Gardner, this was his second. He came to the HBC Pigskin Showdown. So I know he did I don't know if it was an interception or I can't really think, but he showed off there. And I know like a lot of scouts was there, so they were on him with that one. And I know they're on him with this one because he was one of the fastest wide receivers here also from Alabama A&M.
Okay. Okay. Now I don't know. Like I said, I know you're there, so I know Jeremiah Clark had chimed in the chat and said that the game he thought it was 3 Central, which
Yeah,
means
two Eastern. I mean, no. Yeah, you're right.
It's
Three.
two.
Go ahead.
Well, I
have they
think it's 3 Central, 2 p.m. Eastern, right? Or
other
no?
way? It's the other way. Other way. So if it's listed as is it listed as 3 Central there?
I gotta look.
If it is, then that means it's 4
It's 4
Eastern
o'clock.
going the other
It's
way.
4.
Going the
Yeah,
other way.
yeah.
It
We're an
might be
hour back.
2. The
We're an
time
hour
zones
in front.
confused me.
It's all good. It's all
Yeah,
good.
yeah. We're an hour in front.
Okay, so 3 Central, which is 4 Eastern.
Yeah, so
Gotcha.
it's like 3 p.m. here. So
So
yeah,
then, yeah, okay. So you were going the other
the
direction. Yeah,
other
that's
way.
all right.
Yeah.
That's all right. That's all right. Okay. Well, hey, again, Angela, let people know your social media handle so that way they can make sure to follow you. I know you're heavy on X, but I don't know, you may be on Instagram as well. Let people know where they can find you.
So my Twitter is LILANGELAAA_. I will follow you guys back, and I will be posting the rest of the HBCU Legacy Bowl. I'm not sure if I'm going to be at practice tomorrow or Friday because it is a career fair, so I'm gonna try to make my way to practice. But they are also going to the career fair, so I'm gonna try to get some footage of them. And game day, I will be recording, so stay tuned for game day.
Definitely. We'll make sure to retweet not only from our handle, but also the Black College Sports Network handle as well. Make sure you take care of you at that career fair. You don't have to get photos of him. Take care of your business. Take care of your business first.
Yeah.
But I know you will, and I know you've even been at the AFCA convention and everywhere. It's really cool to kind of follow you in your journey through all of these different camps. You're doing a great job out there, Angela. So I'm glad we got an opportunity to help get you in there, and we appreciate. I'll post those videos that you did with Eric and Cam. I'll make sure to post those on our social media handles, and then you're still hunting for the other guys. So I know you'll hopefully
Yeah.
get those other rattlers as well,
Yeah.
and then we'll post those when you do.
Yeah. Next trip is the scouting combine that I got an intern at.
That's an indie, right?
Yep. So 3 days, like after this game, I'm gonna make my way over there.
Okay.
Man.
All right.
Okay. All right. Doing it big.
Living a dream. Living a dream.
I'm telling you. I'm
Yeah.
telling you. Keep doing it, Angela.
Yeah.
You're doing a great job. We appreciate you. All right.
No problem.
All right. Angela Lawani, everybody, make sure you follow her. We'll make sure to retweet the handle. And all right. Well, hey, have a good
Thank
night,
you.
Angela, and we'll
Everyone
talk
have a
soon.
good one too.
All
All
right.
right.
Bye.
Thank you. Wonderful meeting you.
All right. All right. Good stuff, guys. What's let me get your thoughts here on the some of the things that you've read or seen regarding the combine and the results of guys. You know, Eric Smith with a 4.32, which was obviously that was his second run. His first run of 4.39 was already the fastest time, and then he went faster. But obviously the NFL is a numbers game. And when they see his size, do you think there'll be some people that'll kind of be cautious, or where do you hearing about Eric Smith and his potential at the next level?
Typically, in the NFL, they've kind of shown us over the last 5 to 10 years for sure that they look for the metrics, right? If you're going to be slightly undersized coming from a smaller college or HBCU, then you got to show superior athleticism. So that 4.32 still keeps you on the radar. You're going to have to show that you can return kicks, return punts, do cover, do special teams because that's where you're going to get your real opportunity on at the next level. Uh, but now when you got the measurables, is a different conversation. Like she mentioned the tackle from Howard. I mean, he's 6'8", like 330. So you know he has that what they're looking for his position. He's not undersized, and they're more willing to help develop players when you got the metrics right. You got the size, you got the weight, you got the speed. If you look at the two guys that we had, who are three guys who are in the NFL, and I think one thing she mentioned was very important: opportunity. We knew those kids could play, and if they get an opportunity, they're going to make a squad. I'm saying right now, if Kamara Young gets an opportunity, he's going to make a squad. He has hands, he has size, he ran a pretty good time for a tight end. So I what sticks out to me first off for the people who were there, quarterback. I'm looking at Musa. He needs to have a good week and a good game situation on tape. No turnovers because he's SWAC Offensive Player of the Year. He had 2 great years. He's won a championship. Uh, he's a kid that been at a Power 5 school, so he has the measurables, legitimate 6'3". So he'll have the opportunity as long as he impresses. All they got to do, remember, it's just one. You don't need all 33. You need just one scout to see something in you and believe in you. So that's what many of the kids are looking for. But of course, Darius Richards, his time I think is pretty good. I don't worry about him, doing the drills and throwing the ball. Obviously, he has a lot of productions, has played a lot of snaps. So, I don't see. I don't think he's not hurt himself. I would think Anderson from Grambling probably is gonna, and Green from South Carolina State. A lot of production programs that when kids get opportunity at the next level, they usually do pretty good. Now both are kind of undersized, so I don't know if they'll get drafted. But again, this is about opportunity. There are two kids from FAMU's team that are not there that I thought were worthy to be there, and that's Javon Morgan, the safety, as well as running back Terrell Jennings. Because I think both of those kids have the capability of playing at the next level if given the opportunity, and they have the measurables. So that stuck out to me also.
Right. I was going to try to show some of the clips off of Twitter, but my window sharing isn't seeming to work very well. Do you want to add anything, Marcus? I'll give it one more shot here.
Not a whole lot to add. I mean, I only caught wind of the highlights that FAMU football and other outlets have put out as it relates to all the players. But of course, I was focused on the FAMU players. But I think, as Kelvin said, an opportunity and a shot to showcase your talent and to show why FAMU is in the Celebration Bowl and had the convergence of talent and skill and experience in order to win that bowl game, not undue in large part to the people who are at this bowl game, at the quarterback position, tight end position, DB position, offensive line. So just covering the gamut, and it sounds as though Isaiah Major is nursing an injury or recovering, but you had most of the key players who helped us to get to where we are, and a lot of them, for more than a couple of years, having been on FAMU's campus, and to get a chance to showcase their talents and hopefully fulfill their dreams of becoming a professional athlete.
All right. Who are so other than Moose as the quarterback, obviously we know Richard is there.
Howard's quarterback.
Okay, Quentin Williams. Who's another quarterback that's there? I think the quarterback from Edward Waters is there as well, I believe, right?
I only know of those three. I don't know who the fourth one is.
Okay. All right. Okay. So it'll be interesting to see. I know the FAMU Pro Day should be pretty interesting. Do we know the date on FAMU's Pro Day? Kenya said Benedict's quarterback is there as well.
I don't know the date of it, but I know in years past NFL.com listed the pro days for each of the colleges. So I don't know if they've got that list up, but typically it came out after the combine. So I don't know if it might be a little premature. I haven't heard a date from our side, but I know NFL.com usually does something like that, but I just don't know if they've done it.
Okay. Interesting. EA said a lot of guys looked out of shape. I'm curious. How do you determine or base that on? I'll take your word on it, EA. I mean, you might know a lot better than me, but I couldn't tell you whether guys are out of shape or not. I think what's going to be interesting is when guys actually start playing. If I'm trying to recall, like I said, I don't recall watching the game last year, but I did watch it 2 years ago. Performance will be interesting. You see how guys are able to perform, and who performs well. Like I said, it's hard trying to put it together in a short week, but I don't know. They'll make it work. They'll make it work somehow, some way. I'm sure. Okay, let's kind of spin it forward a little bit. Let's kind of talk about. Let's real quick. Let's kind of mention. We don't want to mention or leave out baseball because baseball had a good weekend. They opened up the season at home, Moore Kittles Field, against Eastern Illinois. And I was really impressed by the fact that we got two great starting pitching performances from Caleb Granger and Trey Simmons. Granger on the first night, I think, pitched 6 scoreless innings before, the relievers kind of came in. FAMU jumped out to I think about a 6-run, 6-1 lead, 6-0, 6-1. Got a little closer at the end in the 9th inning, as I think Eastern Illinois scored about 4 runs there.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, FAMU picked up the 6-5 win. Then on game 2, 3. Now, this game 2 is actually part of a doubleheader on Sunday, if I'm not mistaken, right? Is that how that went?
Yes.
2 and 3 was a doubleheader, yeah, because Saturday it was supposed to
rained out or something.
It was supposed to be Saturday, but the weather was bad Saturday. It rained all day. So they were supposed to play 4 games. They ended up playing 3.
Right. And so Trey Simmons ended up pitching game 2, which he was supposed to be the starter on Saturday. He ended up that moved to game 1 on Sunday, and he pitched the first 5 innings of shutout baseball, and then I think 1 or 2 other relievers kind of came in And let me see. I know Cody Williams got the save. But anyway, they combined for a 3-hit shutout. So 4-0 was the victory. So again, the starting pitchers up to that point, 0 runs and 11 innings pitched.
And let me say, after that second game, there was like a 45-minute hour in between the doubleheader starting. And as I was going in my car to run an errand before I come back for game 2, I was listening to the Eastern Illinois coach talk to his team, and he was not being very kind with his words about losing 2 games. I mean, he was giving them the business. It was hilarious. I was laughing, but yeah, he was letting them have it. So I expected a more spirited fight from them in that game 3.
Well, in game 3, which let me see, our starting pitcher on game 3. Let's see. I don't have the full. Well, I'll take a second to pull up the full box score. But anyway, FAMU got out to an early 2-0 lead in the opening inning. Gave up the lead in the second, top of the second, to Eastern. Eastern put up another 3 runs in the top of the third. FAMU answered with 2 in the bottom of the third. So after the first 3 innings, 5-4. So we already kind of had more runs and more production than we really probably had in the first 2 games combined. 5-4 was the score. Eastern scored 2 more runs in the 5th to grow their lead to 7-4. FAMU found a way to cut it a couple of runs there in the bottom of the 6th inning. So going into the top of the 7th, our score at that point is 7-6. Eastern put up a run in the 8th. FAMU would come up with 2 in the bottom of the 9th. Now I'm curious, why did we go when the first game was 7 innings? Usually I thought the double headers they would go 7-7. Any idea why they went 9 innings?
In double headers, only one of the games is 7, and then the later game is 9.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you for the clarification. And so we tied up the game 9-9 in the bottom of the 9th inning, and then gave up a go-ahead run in the 9th. I don't have the full rundown.
So let me get. So
Go ahead.
I was at,
you were there. You were there.
I was at all the games, even though I missed some of the early innings in a couple of them, but I saw the ending of all of them. And what I would tell you, what was different about game 3 of that particular game, and it was even more so the case for the Troy game, which happened in the midweek. We've talked about philosophies and who plays. So we still have not started out number 1 outfielder Ty Jackson. He did have some at bats, but in terms of playing in the field, he's not really played. That Sunday game, Coach platoon some guys, got some younger guys some playing time, and he had some pitchers that he put in, so to get some guys some work, some reps. So that was one of those games where we didn't play the exact same lineup that in terms of the full game that we did the first 2 games. So that I think that probably contributed some to the additional scoring, but the team showed a lot of fight, showed some depth, frankly, because for the most part we played pretty clean, not many errors, and then our hitting had been on point pretty much the whole series with they got some questionable calls in their favor. Like one time we had guys on base and the guy was running to first, and the first baseman fielded the ball for Eastern Illinois. He tagged the runner, but he had the ball in his hand, not in his glove, and he tagged the guy with the glove, and they called him out. In that same inning, and in that same minute, they got another call like that, a favorable call. But that happens in baseball. But yeah, it could have been a sweep, and I was very encouraged. Even in the 9-8 game, the quality of pitching, we're healthy right now for the most part. We got a couple of guys who coming off injuries, so they're limiting them. But yeah, it was a good showing. It could have easily been a sweep, frankly. Um, and so of course we know this team was talented and they would be able to hit. The question was, how the pitching looked. In my opinion, the pitching is pretty solid. You got a lot of different arms. And then I'm gonna just go ahead to the Troy game. The Troy game, man.
Hold on a second. Let me ask a question about. Let's stay here with that weekend series. Did we hit a home run in that weekend series? If we did, maybe just one. I don't think we hit any.
Yeah, no, we hit I know we hit at least 2 home runs in the series. Yeah.
Okay. I was just looking at the Sunday game 3. I didn't see any in there. So
our normal home run hitters didn't hit any yet. Sebastian didn't hit any, and Bertado didn't. He didn't hit any, but he did hit one that hit the top of the top of the fence and came and stayed in the park. But our normal guys didn't hit one, but there was a couple of guys that did hit a home run.
Okay,
lot of doubles though.
Yeah, a lot of doubles. I'm just not coming across any homers, but I'll take your word on it. All right, go ahead. The Tuesday game, midweek game against Troy. Ugh.
Midweek game. Of course, Troy's a really good program now, but for whatever reason, and this happened even before I got there, because it started at 4 and I didn't get there till after 5 after I got off work. But the pitchers hit a lot of batters in the first 2-3 innings. I mean, there must have been minimum 5 hit batters in those first 3 innings, and it wasn't the same pitcher, right? But the midweek games is where coach tends to experiment, because we have a tournament this weekend in which we'll be down in the Port St. Lucie area, I think. Vero Beach.
Rivera Beach.
Yeah, Rivera Beach.
Riviera Beach.
Okay. And so, so coach pitched it had to be about 9 or 10 pitchers that pitched that game. And he platooned quite a few hitters too, and then play a couple of guys. And I talked to coach after that game, and coach was very disappointed, because even though he platooned and he does that from time to time, what he was saying was, hey, this is a really good team and we have really good depth. So he said he wasn't expecting. He figured he could not play some guys and do some of the things he typically do in those early midweek games, and we would still be very competitive. But that particular game, it just didn't play out that way. And he don't talk, usually he don't talk like this necessarily this early in the season, but he was pretty disappointed in that effort against Troy.
And I think, I didn't watch the game. I watched the highlights, and I saw the updates from Rattler Plus and pitchers switching out. But I would hazard to guess that Coach Shoup's disappointment is, if you look at the baseball roster, it kind of mimics, or at least gives the feel similar to what we just had in football.
Yep. Exactly.
Very senior laden, a lot of experience coming back, and players who got some playing time last year playing bigger roles. But it's really top heavy as it relates to experience. So it's almost like, moving all your chips in for this season too. It just happened to fall out that way. And that kind of explains for the signing day 2023. I'm sorry, signing day this past fall, when the baseball players and all other sports can sign in November, why we had such a heavy presence of freshmen signing, because there's going to be a lot of talent that's going to be exiting the team in theory next year. I don't know who, just based on the classification on the roster, we have a lot of grad students and seniors. Now, does that somebody still have a COVID year? I don't know. But you can look at the roster and kind of see like it's really, and there are a couple of freshmen that he's excited about, mentioned by article. And actually, one of them kind of slipped by me, Josu Figueroa. He's one of the freshmen they mentioned in our interview with Gerald and the Democrat. But you look at that roster; it's senior laden. So, we might feel a little bit of the pinch from losing some of the players from last year. But I think he stocked the roster enough with returning experience and transfers that are high, that are at a not postgraduate, but like graduate level or upperclassman level, to try to knock it out again.
That's an excellent. That's exactly the analogy and what he was going at. He was like, "Hey, this team is too talented, and we have depth." Normally, the problem has been with the early midweek games when we have series on the weekend is he's saving pitching because we don't have depth and we have injuries. So he'll pull guys and he won't let. And even if you let guys play, he'll let them play an inning, 2 innings, 3 innings, then rotate a lot of other people in. But I think in this with this particular team, just like with football, we're not only talented, we're deep, and we should be able to sit some guys and still compete with whoever we play. At least that's what he feels like, and I have to agree with him based on what I've seen. So it either way is a good sign. I suspect when we play this weekend, everybody will play their normal times and moments, and I expect a pretty dominant showing, to be honest.
And actually, I don't recall. I don't know if it was last week's show or the article or something, but I seem to recall. You can correct me if I'm wrong. That Eastern Illinois was a real
Tournament,
competitive, tournament team last year.
Yeah, they were, yes, and they returned a lot of that team too.
Mm-hmm. And to sweep the series, not sweep the series. I'm sorry, win the weekend series 2-1. And I was wondering why we didn't have the fourth game, but I guess just the rain shortened. I mean, you can't have a triple header,
right?
So I guess, but to play a team like that, and to be honest, the first two games to be dominant, and the third game
dominant, yeah.
Stay
Fight.
competitive when
Right.
you knew that the other team was chomping at the bit to try to get a victory, and to tie it up in the ninth. It speaks volumes about where we are. Because I don't know to what degree, if maybe 2 or 3 years ago, if we would have had the same level of success against Eastern Illinois, at least a team coming in that was a regional conference participant the previous season.
Right.
What did come out of this particular weekend were a couple of SWAC honors. As you can see, shortstop Jalen Niles was the SWAC co-hitter of the week, the opening week or weekend of the season in SWAC, really in Division I baseball. Trey Simmons was the co-pitcher of the week in the SWAC. Niles led the Rattlers with 5 hits and a .417 batting average. He also had a .583 slugging percentage, 2 RBIs, and scored 4 runs in the series versus Eastern Illinois, who, as you guys mentioned, was a 23 NCAA regional participant. Niles had a great opening day game. He went 2 for 4 with 2 doubles and 2 runs scored in the opening game. For Trey Simmons, as mentioned, Trey pitched game number 2, and he went 5 shutout innings, only gave up 1 hit, walked 2 batters, struck out 6. So that's a nice 0.00 ERA and a whip of 0.60. opponent's batting average of 0.63. I saw somebody say that Hollow, who said that Trey is the best pitcher. I don't know. I guess we'll have to put it like this: if Trey is the best pitcher, then it's good to have a 1A and 1B because Caleb Granger looked pretty doggone good the other day as well. I don't think his stat line was too far off of Trey's. I think he had fewer strikeouts, but so it's good. It's good to see that that both of these guys had a good opening weekend. Now I think we just have to get that third. It doesn't feel like we've been here before. I think we said this a couple years ago, where our 1 and 2 was pretty doggone good, and then we're just waiting to find out who's going to be that third pitcher. Which
and I tell you, we have pitchers. Don't get it twisted. There's some depth in this pitching staff, and I'll add, he's got more left-handers than I've seen him since he's been with the program. We have quite a few lefties coming out of of course, you can see there that Trey is a lefty, but we have several lefties in the pen too. So the pitching is there. They just got to, a lot of them, this is their first time pitching, and being such an important part of the team in a collegiate environment. So, just got to get the mental toughness. But in terms of the talent, the arm talent is there. I'm very impressed with what I saw this weekend.
So what's next for the baseball program is, as mentioned, the weekend series in the Andre Dawson Classic, which is down in Vero Beach at the whose complex is that at? Is that the Tampa Rays? Is that the Rays complex?
It's one of the major league minor league teams stadium.
Major League Spring, somebody's Major League Spring field. So they start on Friday,
and it just got named Jackie Robinson after Jackie Robinson.
Could it be affiliated with the Dodgers? Because I know sometimes they used to go to Vero Beach.
Well, but see, this is what I don't understand. Okay, so and help me out. I'm not familiar with these particular cities down in southeast Florida. I thought that was in Riviera Beach, and I'm looking at the FAMU Athletics website, and it says Vero Beach. Two different locations, to my understanding, but anyway, I know you're looking that up, Kelvin. So I'll let you keep looking that up. I'll run through the lineup here.
It's Vero Beach.
It's Vero Beach.
Jackie Robinson Training Complex, Vero Beach.
Okay. Is that affiliated with the Major League program team?
It is.
Here are the opponents. On Friday at 7:30, we play Grambling State. Now that game will air on MLB Network, so you'll be able to watch that game on MLB Network. 7:30. Grambling is 1-3 on the season so far. They played in the Cactus Jack Houston Astros event that was in Houston over the weekend. And kind of uneven. I don't really know where to go here. Their one win, they beat Southern 10-0. That was one that was a lot of people buzzing about that, the fact that they beat Southern 10-0. But they did lose to Prairie View and Jackson State. And then the other day they lost to UL Monroe 13-3. Then on Saturday, what, Marcus?
No, I was just saying, I think it's for the Dodgers.
Yeah,
it's called Dodger Town.
Yeah,
that's what I was wondering.
Brooklyn Dodgers. It opened in 47. The stadium, Holman Stadium, but it looked like it's a training complex now.
Oh yeah, it is. It's nice. Sorry to
but it's
interrupt, Brian, but yeah.
but it's still associated with Major League Baseball.
Mm-hmm. It looks like I don't know if that's the Dodgers training facility, but it would make sense named after Jackie Robinson.
Yeah.
All right, the Saturday game is a 3:30 afternoon game. It's against Prairie View, and Prairie View is sitting with a 3-1 record. Now, what's crazy is Prairie View pretty much got a sweep in the Cactus Jack, where they beat Prairie View, or excuse me, well, it says they beat Prairie View. That's wrong. I think that's supposed to be Grambling. I think they beat Grambling, Texas Southern, and Alcorn. And then Tuesday, now this is crazy. Because I watched a little bit of this only because I couldn't find anything else. They played at Houston. And when I cut the game on, I thought I was watching a football score because it was 23-0. No lie. It was 23. And what was crazy, it was like the 6th or 7th inning. And I'm thinking, aren't y'all supposed to call this after like the 5th or 6th inning? Nope. That game went a full night. No, that thing went into the 8th, 9th inning. The final score was 27-1.
Mercer rule. What the rule is? Mercer rule kicks in. Listen, the Mercer rule happens. No, it happens in the seventh inning, but it has to be agreed upon by both teams.
Well, somebody must want to keep playing.
So,
I don't know why.
Somebody didn't want to agree to it.
Yeah, no. So, somebody wanted to keep playing. I don't know why, but I promise I looked up in the 8th inning and it said 23-0, and I was like, huh? Excuse me? I mean, yeah. So they lost 27-1. So yikes. And then on Sunday, we take on Southern at 2:00 in the afternoon. And Southern is 1-2 coming out of the Cactus Jack tournament. So all three opponents, SWAC West.
Now, question for you.
Sure, go ahead.
And this, if I remember correctly, you can correct me if I'm wrong, last year when we played either in this tournament or the one in Atlanta against Grambling, those didn't count as conference games?
No, they're not conference games.
So I'm assuming the same applies this year for this, for the Andre Dawson Classic. Okay.
Nope. Yes, and the Guard Classic next week, they would not be considered conference games.
Right. The Guard Lucas Baseball Classic is up in Atlanta at Coolray Field on a Friday and Saturday, the 1st and 2nd of March. 2 games against Grambling. So SWAC play doesn't actually begin until the 15th. And if I'm not mistaken, SWAC play is primarily your division. I think the rules are with baseball, you're basically playing home and away against your division, which is why it's so interesting. And I remember we talked about this at the SWAC tournament. We dominated the West, in the early season. And so that's why we felt good going into some of those matchups where we had to play those teams from the West because we already faced them. Now it's the East that's the gauntlet. We got to play 5 teams, 4 of them. Well, no, excuse me. Am I saying that right? Yeah, 5 teams. Yeah. 5 teams. At least 2 of them are favorites. And then the third, you can't sleep on because you better not, and that's Alabama A&M. So, you're playing 15, 30. That's 30 games against the Eastern Division.
Yeah.
And the only way you get to play the West is in this early season, in these early opportunities now. So, Yeah. And Texas said, yeah, the Hollow, we do not play Texas Southern. I'm assuming that's what TNSU is. I'm
I don't know if he was trying to
I
say
don't know
Tennessee
if it's
State,
State or
but
Texas Southern.
yeah,
I don't know.
but yeah, you're right. We kind of stay within our divisions, and so we played Southern last year, and Andre Dawson and won, and we played Grambling. I think we swept Grambling. We played at Grambling like 5
We did.
times out of
We have
conference and swept them.
we haven't lost to Grambling since we've lost one game to Grambling over
Right.
the last 3 seasons. One game.
Yeah.
We're like 8-1 against Grambling over the last 3 years. So yeah.
Yeah, and when you think about the tournament last year, the last one standing were Alabama State, FAMU, and Bethune. It is a gauntlet on the east side when it comes to baseball.
Yeah, it's only divisional play, which by the way, I'm not a fan of. I get it. It is what it is, but I would love to play some of the I think you could do what the Cactus Jack or you could do this event, what's happening with the Andre Dawson Classic, this could happen, and really you think about it, it's a little unfair to I mean, I hate to use that word, but it is kind of uneven for Grambling, Prairie View, and Southern because they just played each other in the Cactus Jack. Then they're kind of playing each other in the Andre Dawson Classic. And then you're going to play divisional where they're all going to play each other again. So I don't know. That's got to be it's got to be more frustrating for them than it is, at least for us. I don't know what everybody else on the East, their schedule is like, non-conference or non-conference conference, but whatever. Yeah. All right. Anything else you guys want to cover there regarding baseball?
No, I think we covered everything we need to right now. It's early.
All right. Switching over to softball real quick. Softball. First 10 games, tough.
Awful.
Tough.
Yeah. Two things that stand out. We've not held anybody on 7 or 8 runs, if I'm not mistaken. Everybody's got at least 7 or 8 runs on us, and I think we've only
game.
And I think we've only scored 3 runs one time. We've been shut out about 4 or 5 times, and we got 1 run or 2 runs in the other ones. So right now we're not stringing enough hits together, and we're giving leads early. 3-0 in the first inning, 5-0 in inning 2. And this is a new team, and they are playing very good competition. So I'm not reading too much into it yet. But we have not been competitive though, for the most part.
No. Shut out in 3 games, scored 1 run in 3 games, and scored 2 runs in 2. So it is what it is. It's tough right now. Now this weekend is an HBCU Classic tournament that's happening in Montgomery, Alabama. So the ladies just came back from Troy. Now they go up to Montgomery, Alabama, where they will play Tennessee State. And maybe that's what Hollow was talking about. We do play Tennessee State, but that's softball. So we play them Friday, 5 Eastern, and then we play Alcorn that evening. On Saturday, we play 2 against Grambling at 1 Eastern, and then against Southern at 3 Eastern. So now we get a chance to kind of put it together. Let's find out how tough our medal is after those 2 opening weekends, which were pretty tough weekends.
They were really
tough.
good competition. Yeah.
Good competition. pitching wasn't as consistent as you would have liked it to be. And so,
and we lost. I think I think we was gonna be our number one pitcher for a couple of games. I think she's back now because of concussion protocol.
Lauren Peppers.
I don't know if it was Pepper or who is the freshman? The freshman pitcher.
Ooh.
I know Anaya Canty, and there was another young lady from Columbia Lake City. I think was a good pitcher.
Yeah, I think it was one of the freshman pitchers.
Speaking of softball, Saturday, March 2nd is Alumni Weekend, and it's also when the Veronica Wiggins Field naming ceremony will take place. So, 2:00 Eastern, Saturday, March 2nd, Alumni Weekend. So it'll be a lot of former softball players there. Should be a big weekend. I want to look at. Let me look at. I just had the schedule up. Let me see, who do we play that particular weekend? I think that's the weekend where we host Jacksonville University. So that weekend we're hosting Jacksonville University. So be a great opportunity for the team to really showcase their skill set. But again, we gotta see some positives from this weekend. So that's what we're hoping for them. I'm not sure whether there'll be any streaming again.
They did last year, so hopefully they will again.
Okay. I'm talking about the HBCU Classic tournament.
Yeah, the venue. I watched it last year.
You did? Okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of streaming, got to give a shout out to Rattlers Plus. Josh Padilla did a great job doing some the audio for the baseball game over the weekend. Not sure, did any of you guys watching? Anybody watch? I didn't. I'll admit I didn't. I'll just say it. I'll just stop there. I didn't subscribe for the month, whatever. But did anybody?
Why are you subscribing for the month? You supposed to subscribe for the year. Come on, teacher.
All right, when my tax refund check comes in, I'll add that and my fan ring order to the bill. But the only reason I didn't subscribe for the year because I wasn't sure that there would actually be video coverage of the baseball season. I figured if I subscribe for the month, it covers me for the basketball games. Yeah, I know. You can look to the side all you want. I'm just being transparent here. All right. What else do we? I guess we will mention our women's basketball team. I mentioned it earlier. They are in 6th place, 6 and 7 in conference play. But they are in 6th place. Let me confirm that here. Make sure that's accurate.
Important weekend. They need these 2 W's.
Yeah, it's like our offense fell off a cliff over the weekend in Mississippi. I don't know what happened.
Where teams have made the adjustment. I mean, what you knew it was coming.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to let Grizzle just go off and beat them. So they're forcing other people to step up.
I just think we just missed shots, dude. To be honest, I didn't see. I'll put it like this. I'll give Jackson State credit from the standpoint of Jackson State has not played 4 good quarters all season. That game against us, they played 4 good quarters, especially from a defensive perspective.
We had we had 16 points at half, and then the next game against Alcorn, we had 18 points.
Hey, but my point is, here's the difference. Here's the difference, though, Kel. Alcorn shot the ball. They shot really well against us, especially in the first quarter, first half. Jackson State shot just as poorly as us. Really. The big difference in the Jackson State game, free throw line. I mean,
I saw that.
They quadrupled us in terms of free throw attempts, which of course led to free throw makes. But if you went and go look at I was watching it, the first half, first quarter, yeah, we were bad, but hell, Jackson State wasn't that much better. But defensively is the difference, though. Yes, they played a great defensive game, made it really hard for us to do.
Bigger team.
Yeah, bigger team.
I think they had 20 made free throws and we attempted.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But still though, we struggle offensively because they're focusing on our top two and making the other people make shots. And we got to find a way for those folks to make enough shots to make them play a little bit more honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I agree with you, Dimitri. I thought the Alcorn, now that one I watched, the Alcorn game was just absolutely miserable. I don't know. I probably, like I said, I expected more. I didn't expect much from the Jackson State game, although, I was talking about a little, hey, be on the lookout. But anyway, no, come on, reality. I knew what reality was. But the Alcorn game was really disappointing. I mean, they had a girl just shooting lights out from behind the arc, and we never adjusted. And then we got back to making bad turnovers again. We turned back into the pumpkin of bad turnovers that we were in the first half of the season. We really did. Just throwing the ball all over the field like a middle school team. I mean, it was bad. So anyway, we are currently sitting in 6th with a 6-7 conference record. We are one game behind Alabama A&M, who is in 5th. The bad part is we got to be careful because Bethune, Prairie View, and Alcorn sit at 5 and 8. Yeah, and we've lost to Bethune already. We've lost. How many times did we play Alcorn? Twice or once?
That's a great question.
It's got to be.
Yeah, I think we played them twice.
No, are they with Valley or are they with whoever with Jackson State? We played twice. The other one we've only played one.
They're with Jackson State.
Then we done played it twice. Then
yeah, we beat them 60-56, and then we lost to them 64-49, 15 points. It was not that close. So Alabama State and Alabama A&M come to the Lawson Center this week.
We gotta have it.
Yeah, we gotta win these two.
We should have won both. We should have won both on the road. Remember, Alabama A&M, we had that big lead and lost it in the fourth quarter, and then we did beat Alabama State.
Right. So, yeah, Alabama State. I just don't want us to take for granted Alabama State. 3-10, second worst team. Damn, we cannot.
We ain't good enough. We aren't good enough to take nobody for granted.
No,
we got. Yeah,
I know.
But until this weekend, last weekend, these girls show up every game.
Mm-hmm.
I've never really worried about them showing up and giving maximum effort, and I suspect we'll see that this weekend at home.
Yeah, the men lost by 22 to Jackson State.
Did you have? No, I ain't gonna say that.
Yeah, I had to. I
Well,
had to.
well,
For
if
35
COVID, if COVID was here,
yeah, amen. I know that, but that's why I'm getting it in. For 35 minutes, the men were respectable, with the exception of the first 5 minutes of the opening game, and then maybe the last five. So maybe 30 minutes. But the first five and the last five of that game against Alcorn was bad. Everything in between, though, we looked pretty decent. But damn. So yeah. So I'll just leave it at that. Mississippi Valley State, just to let you know, in case you forgot, is still winless.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have Mississippi Valley State? We need a win. When do we play Valley? Damn, we don't have any more
Just
games.
one time. Just one time. That's it.
Man, that's brutal. That's brutal. So the men, we may not see another victory because the next weekend we go to Louisiana, Grambling and Southern, and then we got Bethune. So I mean, shoot, we may not see this. This is the last chance, really, for the men to get a couple wins. Yeah, it's brutal. All right. What else? Marcus, we got a new recruit coming to FAMU. What do we know
signee.
about it?
Well, he is Jerome Nichols out of Detroit, Renaissance High School. I think depending on what you read, he's either 6'0 or 6'1, 220 or 6'0, 235, somewhere in that range. He was a preferred walk-on at University of Michigan. He did have some offers for the Ivy League, but he preferred to stay in state. And as you can imagine, he is part of a team that won the college football playoff national championship. So he was offered probably about a month ago. He jumped in the portal soon after the championship, and it looks like he verbally committed this past week. So that shores up. I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen a whole lot of film on him, because I don't want to look way back at the huddle because I don't know to what degree that would be indicative of what he brings. I mean, it might be a little bit, but I don't know how much playing time he actually got at Michigan. But
yeah,
not a whole lot.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was gonna say, if you look at did you look at his stat line, or did he play any significant snaps whatsoever at Michigan?
A few special teams. That's about it.
Mm.
Okay. All right.
So we'll see, in terms of, whether it's, a boon, a hidden talent, or depth. So we'll see. But I know we also offered this past week, or maybe within the last 10 days or so, Adrian Owens, a linebacker that he started out at Lamar University in Texas. He's from Houston. He goes about 6'1", 225. He jumped in the portal, and apparently, I guess, I don't know when, I didn't track that down. He must have signed with Jackson State, but then got released from his NLI, and we offered him.
All right. FAMU golf. What can you tell us about FAMU golf, Kelvin?
Well, last tournament we just had Tuesday. And by the way, Coach Rice will be on this week. So we've got him scheduled. But they had a tournament on Monday and Tuesday. They had a horrible start on Monday. I believe they were about eight or at least 8 or 9 shots over.
Over par.
And then they come back Tuesday, and then they were under eight under. So they ended up finishing, what was it, 9th? I think it was somewhere around there at the tournament. So we'll see if they can get a little bit more even and consistent play as the season progresses. Because I believe this may have been the first tournament they played in the spring.
Yeah. I feel like that was an issue I remember Coach Rice talking about previously in the fall, maybe, or just in general, about just bad first days, and then kind of getting better on day 2 or 3. So, we'll have to talk to him about that next week.
Yeah.
I know football is back out Football is back out on the field in the mornings. Some photos from Gerald Thomas from GT3. He's out in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, working out with the football team. You can see Coach Colsey there, and the team out working in the morning, doing what we got to do to get better. Love to see it. Love to see it. Quick question from the chat. Mike Reed asked, do the winners of the bowl games have to pay for their own rings? Yes.
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 And that's at every non-professional level, all the way to Pee Wee.
Even the professional level. I mean, the organization
pay for it. Yeah.
pays for it. Yeah. So the organization, which is Florida A&M or whatever school, Michigan will pay for the ring. And again, they've got the money to do it. They got the money to buy Big Ten championship rings, Rose Bowl rings, and national championship rings. Trust me, those kids will get 3 different sets of rings. If y'all want these boys to have 2 sets of rings, guess what y'all better do? Y'all better buy a fan ring, spend the money. I'm just saying, don't sleep. They won't say it, but I will. This is a fundraiser to help pay for championship rings. And if I'm wrong, hey, AD Sykes, come on and tell me I'm wrong. Come on the show and tell me I'm wrong. I don't think I'm wrong, though. Because this is a genius marketing. I would have done the same thing. This is a genius marketing move right here. Pass a big portion of the cost. And like I said, I did the numbers. It makes sense to do it this way. It makes sense. I was gonna. Okay. Rick says, Radical Rattler says we did the same thing in 2010 after we won the MEAC. Okay. Well, hey, there you go. It's not new to FAMU. Might be why we're doing it. Somebody brought that up and said, hey, we did this back in 2010. Oh, that's a great idea. Let's do it this year. Yeah. Okay, fellas. Well, we covered a busy weekend. I don't think we left anybody out. A hell of a weekend.
They did announce SWAC Media Day for football. Was it July 16th?
Yeah, I don't know why they did that. I don't, of all the things going on, why would you talk about SWAC Media Day, football media day, before? I mean, everything the SWAC should be talking about should be centered on the SWAC basketball tournament, March 13th through the 16th or 17th, right? I'm looking over at the MEAC. The MEAC is running crazy promotional commercials to promote what? The MEAC basketball tournament. Nobody's talking about football media days. The SEC is not talking about football media days. Why is the SWAC talking about football media days now? I don't understand that.
I mean, they got it. They set the date. They got it. It's not that big of a deal. And besides, MEAC ain't fanatics like the SWAC is when it comes to football. So they can announce that shit the day before.
Boy,
I'm just saying.
Well, spring practice is coming up next week. At least I know ours is kicking off. I don't know about everybody else. So I think ours starts March 5th. So we're looking at basically February is a short month. So we're looking at a week and a half. maybe 2 weeks out. So I don't know. Maybe capitalizing on football fanaticism. I mean, we're still talking football because we're looking at bowl games. We're looking at the combine coming up. So it's never too far out of the conversation.
Hey, Brian, let me just get in two things real quick.
Please.
One, the reason I got my FAMU orange and green bow tie and all that, it was FAMU Day at the Capitol here in the state of Florida. So, I was able to make it over and kind of. It's been a minute since I've been to one, so I wanted, I was in the vicinity, so it made sense to go ahead and support. And I will say that they do a pretty good job with that. The one tweak I would say is having seen what the University of Florida and Florida State and some of the other state universities do when they have their day is we have people to register and pay, to go upstairs and mingle with those upstairs and at the top of the Capitol. That's fine. I have no issues with that. But not everybody is that type. So you may want to have. I know the other the other schools, they had some of their student athletes sign paraphernalia, downstairs with the people and so they could take pictures and stuff like that. And then also when it comes to food, they have a sponsor, a food truck or something in the courtyard, where folks can come and get like 5 wings or some box lunch or something like that. But outside of that, everything was pretty good. So hopefully there was some networking done and this year's appropriation to FAMU will be good. All right, that's one. And then 2, at a baseball game, I met and talked to a lot of people. I was waiting on my man to post because he was gonna remind me. I'm gonna see if I can see it right quick. But while I'm looking for him, I also want to make mention. I put a link to a vendor who's out there. He's at all the basketball games, baseball, softball. He's a licensed vendor, and let's see. And very good products. I want to make sure this is one of the merchandise of many that he had. But
hold that up again. Hold that up again. That's the back or
Real
the front?
World. That's the front.
Oh, okay.
And then they have the company on the back. And I think it's realworlds.com if I'm not mistaken. What is it? Real Works. Well, no, Real Words. Okay. Yeah. So anyway, good products. We want to support licensed vendors. And buy merchandise from this because they support our school. And he's at every game. Basketball. He was at the baseball game this weekend. So I want to make sure that, I plug him. And I think I already have the link on my Twitter and Instagram pages. But I'll make sure I push that out.
Yeah, Kelvin, send that to me because I have a Twitter list of HBCU paraphernalia that I try to keep up when I discover new folks so I can add them.
Okay, will do. Absolutely.
Okay.
All right, that's all I got for now.
All right. I don't have anything else. And so with that said, I'm just sitting here trying to figure out how to download that graphic again. Oh, here we go.
Real World, hold on. Realworldsapparel.com. Real Words Apparel. One word. Realwordsapparel.com. That's the website.
Look, you said about 3 different things.
Word with S. Words. Real Words Apparel.
I'm gonna put a little banner here. Make it real simple for people.
Mr. Carter, if I remember his name, Mr. Al Carter from DC. I promised I would shout him out. So you got your shout out, Mr. Carter. Thank you for all you do.
There's the website, realwordsapparel.com. All right. Okay, good stuff. Good stuff. And, again, I want to encourage everybody to go donate to the track and field program. Use the QR code. I'm in the process of sending that out via social media. All right. And then there it is. I think next week when we have our show, I would guess that we'll know more about the coaching hires for a football program, as that was one of the things Coach Colsey was hoping to finalize here at the end of the month.
Yep.
Now, one question I had is that, well, we just secured one transfer linebacker and made an offer to another. Do we already have our guy in the mix and it just hadn't been formally announced? Well, assuming that linebacker coach is one of the positions, because it makes sense, because our linebacker and defensive coordinator went to another school, and we don't have, as far as I know, we don't have anybody on staff who's actually coached linebackers. So I was just curious, trying to put one and one together.
Don't have a clue on that one yet, Marcus. Have to wait on coach on that one.
Marcus, just to put it into the poll, you asked me to make sure we put a poll up that said which team will be next to win a SWAC title. I put the choices of tennis, track, softball, and women's basketball.
Well, actually, my thought was that for next team to win the first title. I don't know if it might not have been clear the way I wrote the question. But I was thinking, for the teams that already have titles, for the teams that already have titles, I was taking them out. So who's going to be the next new FAMU team to win a title in SWAC?
All right, so that I'll have to ask that question maybe on Twitter or Instagram. But just this particular poll, who will be the next to win a SWAC title? 57% of the people say it'll be the tennis team. 19% say track, 14% say softball. So there you go. Thank you to everybody who voted. All right. With that said, let's get ready to get out.
Mr. Samuel Gilbert, baseball. I got the picture. I'm going to post it on my Twitter page. But fan of the show, was at the baseball game.
Okay.
Shout out, Mr. Gilbert. I told you I was going to shout you out. I found it.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for this show. Want to encourage everybody, if you can, to make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at O&G StrikeZone. If you're so inclined and you want to donate to our show, you can do that in a couple of different ways. There's our Cash App. You can also use the Square ID there, or if you're in YouTube, you can always leave a super chat donation. And that will help keep us going. Maybe it'll help put us on the road and allow us to do a live remote. I know we'd like to try to be in Tallahassee that weekend of March 2nd. I know it's the close of the basketball season. It's also the Veronica Wiggins Day. So any donations that you give will help us make sure we are there. All right. Got to thank our track and field team
Champs.
coaches, athletes,
What up, champs?
champions for coming on the show. It was great talking to
Mm-hmm.
them. Thank you, Angela Lawani, who's out in New Orleans covering the HBCU Legacy Bowl. Good luck to the Rattlers who are participating in that. Stay safe, but excel. Be great. Maybe another one of you will be the next MVP of that game. Good luck to all of our athletes participating. We'll be watching, following along, talking about it, tweeting, because we are proud of you. And so we want you to be great. And let's find a way, folks, to donate to
Derek Singleton. Nobody self checks no more. You know how to send something to me if you need to, though. You got my address.
Hey, we do accept checks because now you can do a digital deposit. So, yeah.
Man, Derek don't know how to do no digital deposit, man.
No, I thought he was asking about sending checks.
He is.
We can take a check. It ain't that hard. It ain't that hard to digitally deposit. So,
well, I'm gonna tell him to call you. Explain how he need to do it.
just write it. I'm gonna give you the address to mail it to. How about that? Appreciate you guys for watching the show, following us on social media. Make sure you reach out to those student athletes and coaches.
Go ahead and send your check, Derek.
We appreciate you guys watching. Home game this weekend. Let's pack the pit. All right, big weekend. Alabama A&M, pack the pit. Let's get there. Let's support. I don't know. Might be so inclined to do a watch party, depending upon how I feel. We got a regional final game Friday. If we take care of business, I might be feeling good on Saturday and ready to do a watch party. So we'll watch our men and women beat up on Alabama State. So
I'll be in the house.
There we go.
Live in person.
There you go. All right. That's going to do it for tonight's show. For Marcus Green and Kelvin Rozier, I'm Brian Fulford. Thank you, Rattler Nation, for watching. Thank you, HBCU Nation, for watching. You guys be safe, be smart, and stay safe out there in the streets. Keep those things up and make sure to strike, and strike again, Rattler Nation. Good night.
More 5 stars.
More 5 stars. More 5 stars. More 5 stars. Exactly. So
they losing a lot of coaches on Lynch Street too.
Man, they just swear that we keep talking about them.
I'm just saying. I mean,
because we have a thing. I don't know. It's just it just is what it is.
It is what it is.
Stop being so sensitive. Stop being so sensitive. So sensitive. All right. Good night, Rattler Nation. Now, officially. Bye. Peace out.
Thank you.